Okay.
Hey, folks, it's Matt once again. I'm joined with Stuntman Marq. Thanks for
What's
joining
up?
me.
Of course. Thanks for having me, man.
Now, this was a paid request from Predminator. Thank you so much for that. He was the one who requested the last commentary we had done, which was nice.
Hmm.
The Predator 2.
Yeah.
And since people are coming in, we're in the middle of discussing Thanksgiving, which we both saw, and we were both mentioned about how uh, certain things in the original trailer they tamed it up a bit because maybe they thought it'd be too misogynistic to have a woman land on her ass on a knife. And you ever
Hmm.
mentioned the trailer how people were complaining? I thought it was fun. I think we both thought it was a fun movie, but you were discussing about the trailer compared to the movie, how people put the trailer on a pedestal.
Yeah. People put that OG trailer on a pedestal, and I think it's a good trailer. That's not a shot at the trailer. It's really cool. It's fun. We all know that. But to say that the film didn't live up to that, I think is ridiculous. People calling the movie silly when the trailer is, I think, more silly than the movie. Um, it just works good enough. Like I said a minute ago before we came on, it's not the most amazing slasher film ever made, um, and it's not terrible. I think it's just good enough. Like he fulfilled what he should have fulfilled for expectations, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And hi to the people in the chat: Lucas, Country Shape, Josh, Dark Metal, etc.
Yeah, what's up,
Uh,
everybody?
yeah, I uploaded my review for those interested of Thanksgiving. It's uploaded for those who want to watch it. I did think it was a fun film, but it was one of those movies I was kind of waiting for the next kill because the
Hmm.
human characters, I don't know, they were the most interesting. They were like
Hmm.
fine acting wise, but that lead girl looks like the lead girl in Scream 6 and 5. It looks like the girl in Evil Dead Rise. Like, I can't tell these people apart. And like they try to do the love triangle from My Bloody Valentine, and I don't
Hmm.
think it worked. Because you
Hmm.
have the guy who left, he was gone for a while, he came back
Came
fighting
back,
with a
yeah.
new boyfriend, like My
Uh-huh.
Bloody Valentine, and that new boyfriend disappeared for like the
Hmm.
last half hour, but then
Yeah.
he still got the girl. How the fuck
Yeah.
does that work? He did nothing. He didn't even show up. I'm like, where did he go? And all of a sudden he's in bed with the girl. I'm like, how the hell did that work?
Right. Yeah. While
And
it
the dialogue, even though Eli Roth didn't technically write it, it does kind of sound like
Mhm.
douche, bro, cabin fever dialogue. So
Well, yeah, I mean, it's written by
maybe
his
that's just me.
no, I know what you mean. It's got that feeling, and it was written by his longtime friend, Jeff Rendell. So maybe that's just like how they view these films, and I think there is a little bit of that in some of the slashers from the '80s anyway. So it just kind of worked in
Yeah.
his favor that way. But yeah, I appreciate the movie. Like it's not a terrible film. I can't wrap my head around the hate for it.
I didn't know anyone that hated it. I thought it was fun. But I don't really give star ratings. If I did, I think I said I'd probably give like a 3.5 out of 5.
That's fair.
Just because it
Yeah.
has fun it has fun gore.
Hmm.
The Black Friday scene was entertaining.
Hmm.
I like seeing the one guy as the girl's dad, Rick Hoffman,
Yes,
because he usually plays a dick,
he
but here
does.
he plays a bit more sympathetic as the movie goes along, which is
Hmm.
different.
Yeah.
I wish it was him and the daughter fighting the bad guy, not the pitcher boyfriend who kind of shows back up. I think that would have
Yeah.
been. I just wish the film. Sorry, I keep over talking over you.
No. You're
Uh,
fine. Go.
I wish I the film was fun.
Hmm.
I wish between the kill scenes it was more, I don't know, creative or different, unique. Because like I said, in between the kill scenes, it had a good pace, so at least it wasn't boring. But I wish there was maybe a little bit more meat to those bones, like even a Kevin Williamson touch or something, like just something to just have a little bit more personality or something. That's just me though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I I guess maybe he was kind of going for that in a way. Because it's supposed to be a bad slasher. I mean, an entertaining one, but still like reminiscent of those 80s or I guess even 70s grindhouse type slasher movies. So
They should have gone more for the tone of the trailer instead of worrying about misogyny. Oh
you think he
no, she
should have
can't
pushed the
land on the
envelope a
knife.
little more? Like he should have just gone the extra mile? You really think that wouldn't have like gotten any
Terrifier
kickback?
does it.
That's true. That's true. They do get away with it
People
at night.
praise all the Terrifier movies,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
did that guy receive kickback?
No, he's receiving nothing but praise. Somehow I think if
So,
like maybe Eli did it, he probably would have gotten the kickback for some reason. I don't know.
mm,
I'm not sure if he really got that like during the Hostel days. It's kind of hard to remember that far back, but um, I think horror films at that time were coming into that big torture porn, heavy on the splatter era. Like it was sort of seeing its return because you didn't get a lot of that in the 90s. Um, but then the next decade over, we go into the 2000 and sort of making its comeback. But now the MPA is way more lenient, which is a good thing. And I do remember him saying on the Mick Garris podcast that he was sort of worried about them stepping in and trying to make trims here and there, but he was able to get away with
mhm.
quite a bit, I think. And although I did feel a little, what's the word? Not let down, but I did want more intensity. I'll agree with you there. I did want that just because I had been so not desensitized, but seeing Terrifier 2, I'm like, well, that's where the bar is. But hearing Eli say that he wanted to do fun kills and not brutal kills sort of makes sense for what we did end up getting. So, like I said, I still appreciate the movie regardless. And he'll probably step it up for the second movie, more than likely. That's usually what happens.
Well, that'd be fine. I just hope he steps up with the characters in the second movie because they're still better than Scream 6. But
Hmm. Yeah.
could you say what do you feel about the characters in Thanksgiving? I know because there are a lot of such films I do like the characters. Like, how do you
Mhm.
feel? For me, it was average. Thought it was just average.
Yeah, I thought they were average. I thought some of the other side characters, like the guy with all the guns and stuff, he was kind of interesting, but he wasn't in the movie enough, in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of him and
exactly.
like what he's doing around town because they're in this small town and we're sort of stuck with the teens or a small group of teens anyway. And they were fine. I mean, I knew they were cannon fodder. I'm like, these are our victims and maybe a few other people, but these are like the core people that the John Carver character is going to be stalking. So I didn't mind them. I think they had a good chemistry. That's probably what helped the sort of average, somewhat two-dimensional characters that they were. Like their chemistry really worked. They felt like a group of friends. So I bought into that aspect of it. But yeah, the whole love triangle, I get what he was trying to do, but like you said, the guy just disappears. And maybe that was again by plan. It could have been part of the red herring because there were quite a few of those throughout the film. And for a while, I did think that that guy was the killer, but I won't say who it is 'cause it's still a fairly new film. I don't want to spoil it.
But even then, he still did absolutely nothing and still got the girl. I thought that was kind of horse shit, but that's just me.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll
same.
we'll get into the film. I'll just say hi to Chad. I just wanted to talk about stuff for about 10 minutes to see if people who see the stream they come into the chat stream.
Hmm.
But hey there, Predminator. Country Shape, you'd be surprised how many people look very similar. There's 3 guys in my town that look exactly like my brother. Yeah. That's cool premiere. You saw The Abyss in theaters in a restoration. Very cool.
Nice.
Hey there, Bobby. Hey there, Cole. Nope, Bobby, never seen Babes in Toyland. No, I don't think we'll get a movie on Don't, that trailer, because that's Edgar Wright, and I think he's more wanting to do different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard the Mean One, the Grinch horror parody. The same guy that plays Art the Clown is the Mean One. I didn't know it was the same guy.
He is, yeah.
Eli Roth absolutely got kicked back from some people for what was deemed controversial and offensive material in the Hostel days. Yeah. Yeah, people were more pussy. Well, people were more pussies now, but there were still some pussies back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was quite nearly the level of like the 80s stuff, though. I do remember like the critics having an issue with all those guys. Darren Lynn Bousman, James Wan was another one for Saw. Aja. Yeah, there were a few guys that definitely got some kickback, but it just wasn't quite the same level of like the 80s stuff. But again, times are a changing for MPAA and what's allowed in theaters, and I think that's only a good thing. I don't think they should exist at all, but you know, it's a conversation for another stream.
I don't know, Neopunk, what my favorite Arnold comedy would be. Twins is a good one, Kindergarten Cop's a good one, and I think this is a fun one as well. It'd be hard for me to pick. But hey there, Aragorn. Hey, everyone. And then Thanksgiving, I thought was okay. It was fun for what it was, but you know, considering this year, I guess that says a lot, Sally. And no, I did not see the trailer for Terrifier 3. I didn't watch Terrifier 2, so I did not see Terrifier 3 trailer. Nope.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten a request for Terrifier 2.
I did once, and I turned it down because, number one,
oh, wow.
I'm a bit against that film because my friend Michael Keane, he reviewed the film. He showed like 2 pictures, and he got a strike on his channel because of that review. And so after that, I'm like, fuck that movie. I take it personal. You fuck with my friend, you fuck with me. Fuck you. Plus,
well, wouldn't that be more of
2.5 hours slasher film?
Right. Well, wouldn't that be more of YouTube's fault?
Yeah, but who made the claim?
Was it a flag strike or was it a copyright claim?
Like copyright thing.
Copyright. Yeah, I'm.
Which the reason says is he had still pictures, but there's people that show the 40 minutes of the film and they're up and fine. Just whatever. I just said fuck it. I can live my life without never seeing Terrifier 2. I'm fine, folks. I think I'll be fine. The version I'm watching is 1 hour, 33 minutes, and about 40 seconds.
That's the one I have as well. I was going to bring that up. There's 2 different cuts. You have the theatrical, and then I think it's called the Family Fun Edition with somewhat like kind of like a director's cut in a way. But yeah, more scenes and extra dialogue, different shots and stuff.
And yeah, the Green Inferno I've seen, I did not like it. It wasn't for me, Caleb. And they already announced it Thanksgiving too, Jesse. Well, you're laughing. You saw it, right, or something? You're laughing about it.
That was a date movie for me, actually. I came like out of that theater and I was so disappointed. I'm like going in just super excited because that's his thing, is like the Italian stuff. I mean, he has an extensive knowledge of Italian films. His wife is Italian. Eli speaks Italian. I'm like, if he knows anything about Italian horror, like more than anybody else, like this is the guy. Like this is going to deliver, and it didn't at all. It was not what I wanted it to be. I was thoroughly disappointed.
But I guess we'll get started. We're about 15 minutes in. We'll be doing the commentary. I'll count down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, press play. And then for those who want to follow along or see this in the archive, want to follow along, feel free to press play. Again, we're watching the cut that's 1 hour and 33 minutes long. Again, shout out to Predminator who sent in this request. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
thank you, Stuntman Marq, for joining me on this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So 3, 2, 1, pressing play. And should be seeing the 20th Century Fox logo.
I am. So I can't believe Arnold was paid $20 million for this movie. Like, I know he was hot product in the 90s. Probably the biggest action star on the planet at the time, but my God, 20 million. And that's 20 million in 1996, which went a lot farther than it does today.
Yeah, it is a bit strange because Arnold's career was not really on the up. I mean, I guess it is after True Lies, and that was 94.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember what he did in between these two. This was 96. That was 94.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess, he was still a pretty big star at the time, but then oh yeah, Eraser. Yeah, Eraser. But Eraser was in the summer of 96, so that was still before this.
That's right. It was.
And it did okay business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this
was November 96, I believe.
Yeah. And of course, rest in peace, Richard Mall. He's the bad guy in the TV show here. Mm-hmm. Richard Mall from Night Court and many other stuff.
Oh, yeah. I believe he had...
And this does look like a shitty TV show. Yeah, I don't see why anybody would watch this, but
yeah, that's what Levant intended. Briefly on the director, Brian Levant, he did a couple of other family movies before this that I really enjoyed. Beethoven, The Flintstones. As a kid, I really liked those movies. I always thought he was a competent filmmaker, at least for this type of film. I know a lot of his work got backlash from critics, but he was always successful. Problem Child 2, which I like as well. He did that. Those were all successful movies, but he just got torn to shreds when it came to those films. But these were all hits back to back to back. Yeah, his first 4 movies were all big hits.
That's pretty. Hey, Stuntman Marq, what if those two guys in the green screen behind you, they jump out and tap you and go look for Turbo Man? They look like they're reaching for you.
All right. That'd be funny if they did.
They want his cocaine.
Yeah, that's what they're reaching for.
The bags of cocaine.
And the budget on this film was insanely high too. It's like 75 million, I think. That's nuts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that includes Arnold's paycheck, then that's a lot to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was 20 million, and then probably all the effects in the third act.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sinbad got paid any money.
Well, it was supposed to be Joe Pesci.
Sinbad? Oh yeah, I heard it was Joe Pesci, right?
Yeah, it was going to be Joe Pesci, and they also went to what's the guy? Is it Daniel Stern from Home Alone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They approached him for the role for Myron as well. Of course, we know it ultimately went to Sinbad, but like I couldn't even imagine either one of those guys playing that character. It's perfect casting in my opinion for Sinbad. All his improvisation throughout the movie really was spot on, and they saw that him and Arnold had a great chemistry, so he improved as well. A lot of his dialogue back.
And of course, the late great Phil Hartman there in the
Yes,
crowd.
love Phil Hartman. So sad how he
It's still.
was murdered. That was so.
I was just about to say that his wife went crazy, wasn't it?
Mhm.
His wife pretty much just snapped, right?
Yeah. She they had like a really heated argument. He went to go take a nap. She took a gun and put it to his head, fired once, fired again, and I think the throat and the chest, all like very vital areas he was struck with the bullets. And yeah, I mean, there was no saving him. And she left and went to like a friend's house, came back, and they didn't believe her. So like they went to see for themselves, called the cops. Um, and once the cops showed up, um, she barricaded herself in a room and then shot herself. So it's very tragic and many ways depressing turn of events for that whole family. It's just awful.
Did they ever find out, was she just mentally unstable? Was there something else that was a cause of it?
Um, so I think one of the members of her family ended up like suing Pfizer, I think it was. She was on was it Zoloft or one of those drugs, and then she also had cocaine in her system, alcohol, and I think something else, and just a bad mixture of
Yeah.
stuff going on. And then she was known for having like a really bad temper and
Mm.
not being able to control her anger. So I guess this at this point, it just whatever the argument was or whatever happened, just is it's just sad. I still remember that like as a kid, like seeing that on TV. It was all over like every channel, and I just couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I didn't think stuff like that could happen. I'm like, what? Like his wife? Huh? Like I was so confused.
That's why you gotta be like Johnny Depp. Get away from the bitch. Have a trial. Have a fun trial. The people are vaping and leaving and
Mm,
info
yeah.
of shit on bed. Just have a trial and leave. Fuck the bitch. Fuck the
Oh,
crazy
well,
bitch.
unless you got someone really awesome like the wonderful Rita Wilson, who's always reliable in these types of films. Pretty much anything she does, not just these kinds. I always like seeing her in
Yeah.
anything.
And Jake Lloyd, I know he went through bad stuff. I feel bad for that.
Mhm.
I still think he sucks as an actor, as a kid actor. I'm sorry. I won't. I still think he's terrible, and I do think he's terrible at. I mean, I won't blame the kid at this point. I'll blame the parents. They should have noticed that and said, find another piece of work. I mean, I get you got hired. I only you deserved it, in my opinion, but the kid's very young. The parents
Mhm.
fucked you. I think you knew your kid was a shitty actor. You got the paychecks, and you fucked up his life. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, but I can't lie. I do think he was terrible as a kid actor. I do. He's a glaring thing in Phantom Menace, this
Uh-huh.
movie, like that test screen for the Phantom Menace. You see like the two kids, and the one kid that's so much better, but then they hire the other kid because George Lucas was high that day. I don't know why. I really don't.
Yeah, so when it comes to that kid, I remember watching the making of for this, and he said that was his lifelong dream, and it's like, dude, you're like 7. It's a lifelong dream to, meet Arnold and do something with Arnold, so, I guess it was more up to him than his parents. They just wanted the paycheck, like you said.
What would he have seen with Arnold when he was 7? Predator?
I guess, or maybe Terminator. Probably that's like the big movie of the time of the 90s
I
anyway.
guess I can't complain. I was watching when I was 7 as well, so I can't complain about that. 7-year-old
Same.
watching this.
Same.
Oh, believe me, Bobby. If it was him, I'd probably punch the green screen in the face as well. If it was green screen, you'd put. Yeah, I'm sure everybody would like to have that. For a lot of people. Thank you, Bobby. Yes, I do know that the Bid Show plays the huge Santa later on in the scene with James Belushi and them, and you have the Bid Santa. Yep, that is the Bid Show.
And the little person is Vern Troyer.
Yep, that's true. Rest in peace, Vern Troyer.
Yes.
But I do enjoy the film because I do think Arnold does a good job playing the. At least he's trying in this scene to be nice to his kid, just the kid being a little asshole. Come on, if you had Arnold as your dad and he's being playful like this, I looked at this room. You got Captain America on the background.
I was gonna mention that. Like, that's awesome. I wish I had that as a kid.
All this awesome shit. As long as he's not sleeping with the maid, Arnold will be a good dad. Just don't have any maids around for him to sleep with.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. I mean, I love Arnold, but come on. That's one of two things that was just really stupid of you to do. That and screw your freedom.
Yeah.
He did a whole stupid thing. Like, come on, Arnold. Screw your freedom. Shut up. You did Batman and Robin. Shut up.
Right?
But I do like Arnold. I mean, how do you feel about Arnold?
Huge fan. He was my favorite like action star growing up, hands down. Number one. And then it was others like Van Damme that were always right there. And all the other guys sort of follow suit. Stallone and, so on.
Yeah, for me it was Stallone, then Van Damme, and then people like Dolph. But Arnold would be in there because I do like a lot of his movies. He was definitely more successful than a lot of those guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of his work in the 90s didn't do well, from what I remember.
Well, I don't think this did well.
No, this did good. This did pretty good.
I thought, at least in the U.S., it didn't do well.
It was over 120 million from the box office. It did good. I remember that because, like, Brian Levant's first 4 movies were all hits. I remember him talking about that, saying like how lucky he was to have such a success coming in, and he never struck out, at least until the Flintstones sequel that bombed. But then he bounced back after that with, was it Snow Days or Snow Dogs or something like that, one of those kinds of movies. And yeah, then I didn't really follow the rest of his stuff, but I've seen other movies after this one. But yeah, his first 4.
That's where it confuses me though. If it cost 75 million, but it made 120 million worldwide, don't you have to make at least double to break even? And that's not even double with worldwide.
Yeah,
worldwide. Let's say if it's worldwide 120 million, but then it costs like 70 million. Again, don't you have to do half, double to break even?
I'm gonna check to see.
I thought that was the rule.
Exactly. That's just what I remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's that. Let me read this real quick. What if someone made a picture of me and John Cena shaking hands? I'm not shaking John Cena's hand. He ain't there. He's a bunch of thin air to me. I don't like John Cena. Let me shake someone who I actually like. I'll shake Stuntman Marq's hand.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not shaking C Nation. Fuck John Cena.
You're not a
I know I
chain.
yell, but
You're not a chain gang soldier.
good guy, man. Fucking Cena. Hell no.
129.8 million. So I was a little off. So it was about 10 million more.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then I know Fox was going to get sued for the screenplay, but I think that got overturned. Some guy claimed that like they stole his idea, but the decision was overturned.
And no, Chaz, I have not seen Arnold's show Fubar. Didn't see it. Didn't have any interest in it. The TV show he did, Fubar, was what,
Yeah.
Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't look that good.
And yeah, this did get a sequel, I guess, with Larry the Cable Guy.
We're not going to talk about that. The WWE sequel with it's the wrestler Santino Morella.
Oh, he's in it?
He is, yeah.
I didn't know it was a WWE sequel. I just know Larry the Cable Guy stars in it, but oh my god.
This movie has a final, I think it's like a credit scene, like at the very, very end. Like it sets up for a sequel, but they didn't make one. I don't
Oh yeah. Because I know, like you were talking about Arnold in the '90s. I know, like End of Days didn't do well, and that was '99. And Batman and Robin was labeled a disappointment at the very least in '97.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of like this is the time when a few years later he would have his heart surgery.
That's right.
And then I think after that, there were some people that felt, can this guy do action anymore? And then, especially in the 2000s, he just had bomb after bomb, 6 Day, Collateral Damage, which was going to be potentially shelved. I think at one point they said it might have been, there was a good chance they would do what they did to Batgirl. It would never see the light of day because 9/11 happened.
Oh, okay.
And that was around time. But then they ultimately did release it, which I'm glad because I do like that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Collateral Damage is good. 6 Days okay, but those didn't do well. And then what was the last one he did? Terminator 3 before he went into politics and fucked stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
In California. Hey, LaHooser, thank you. Yo, Matt, you and Stuntman Marq are a good team. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. A lot of this right here is all improv. It's all Sinbad.
Have you seen other stuff Sinbad has done?
Yeah.
Like movie-wise? Or like which ones have you seen?
Well, another film, oddly enough, has Phil Hartman in it, House Guest, which I enjoy.
That's true.
I think it's a fun movie. And ironically, at the end, it turns into a bit of a Christmas movie. I think it's like the last 15 minutes or so. It's Christmas time, and they're all like having a big, huge Christmas party, and they're like grilling burgers outside in the snow. It's a fun movie. Again, more movie with improv, and they play well off each other. I think this was the last one though that they did together, because I believe they're also in Coneheads together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm sure it was just those three, but then this was the last one that they did together, and this was also the last one that Phil Hartman had come out as a movie while he was still alive. Because after he had passed, I think Small Soldiers came out the year after, I believe.
Oh, okay. I missed the part where he's like, "To the 2 minutes, to the 2 minutes." I always love that. To the 2 minutes, to the 2 minutes.
I love the line on the phone about the cookie with Phil Hartman. It reminds me of the "It's not a tumor" line in Kindergarten
Yeah,
Cop.
he has a lot of line reads in this that's like that. That Puma that I think makes this. I don't know if it's funnier than it was supposed to be, but it works in Arnold's favor with his accent. A lot of the
Yes.
his dialogue.
Mhm. These 2 guys are great. They totally sell it. The guy drops down to his knees laughing.
Pretty, pretty much every store here is like Black Friday.
Yeah.
All the fucking stuff.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
And in a way, it does take a little bit of a bite into consumerism, which is how people are so obsessed with it, which is
Mhm.
nowadays pretty much what a lot of Christmas is about for a lot of people
Mhm.
is the consumerism. They hit new toys. It was,
Yeah.
I mean,
The
every year was like a new toy.
Yeah, it was about the commercialization of Christmas. That's what, drew Chris Columbus to the script, which he, in turn rewrote and, put
Mm.
his own spin on it, and because originally it was the rush and craziness of the shoppers for the Cabbage Patch Kids, which I saw a clip of that on Instagram a week or two ago, and it was this footage from like the 80s and some of the early 90s as well for like the Power Rangers, all inspirations. And I think Chris Columbus said he wrote a lot of his own happenings in from the year before in 95 when he was trying to find the Toy Story Buzz Lightyear figure. He couldn't find it and it was just chaos for the figure. So there's a lot of his own personal stuff in the script. It makes it work really well.
Thank you once again, Bobby. Um, I should bring me to T2. No, none of that. Uh, I don't know why the baby was the baby Karen. Oh no, a Kate. Sorry, I read that wrong. Baby Karen crying. Uh, Arthur, nah, I wouldn't want to see any of that. But I don't want to see anything done with Terminator. So no more of anything.
No,
Nah, prequel, sequel, shot for shot, T for T, video game, nothing.
that was Yeardley Smith, right?
Oh, that's right.
Lisa Simpson.
Arnold, are you dead? It was Yearly Smith. I still love Maximum Overdrive. I don't care what anyone says. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, John Carlos Esposito get electrocuted by a video
Yeah,
game. From that to the Mandalorian, what a bitch leap! Yeah, kids
right.
getting crushed by steamrolls or whatever the forget what that vehicle's called. The steamrolls on the baseball
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
So we don't have the head pop that was cut out.
Oh, I so wish they could find that and put that back in.
I heard Stephen King has it. He just won't release it because he hates the film so much. That's the rumor I heard. He has that footage, but he's like, "Fuck this movie. I'm Stephen King. I gotta go bitch on Twitter more."
Oh my god. Put that out, man. That's priceless stuff. All those
Put
effects
that
are
movie
really
out
fun.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the movie out now.
Get Arnold on them.
Do you guys think the kids shouldn't have gave Sinbad the Turboman figure at the end? Arnold worked so hard for that, and the set gets gone. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Is that consumerism doesn't really matter. It's his family that matters. So it's to show that the kid learned a lesson. The toy doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the material things. That's the thing. It doesn't matter in the long run. It was his family. The family is what matters the most. That's what they're going for.
Hmm.
Batman Returns Kenner Batcave was another you couldn't find in stores around Christmas. They went crazy. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I mean, they had what the fuck was that one? The Furbies. Remember that Furby craze?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
I do.
15 minutes.
Uh,
Everybody wanted a Furby, and now no one talks. No one remember what the
Nobody
fuck a Furby
cares.
is.
Yeah, I remember having one of the RoboCop figures, the big RoboCop figures from the third movie, like because that one was more about appealing to kids, and they were doing a ton of merch and toys and stuff. And I remember getting that figure. I think the little girl in the movie has one of the figures like in the movie, and it was really cool because the hand did come off. You could attach the gun um, to the wrist, and it
Hmm.
actually had a voice box in it too. You press a little button like in the center of the chest plate, and it talked. It was really cool. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
still have it somewhere.
Cool.
It's overselling these cookies really hard.
Yeah, and this is where you get that scene. The who told you to eat my cookies? Put the cookie down now. That's the
Yeah.
who said you could eat my cookies?
She's in the shower. You want me to go check?
By the way, remember back in the day when you had payphones? That'd be all cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more payphones. I wonder if there is like one payphone around or something. I wonder if there's some kind of relic. Maybe not.
Um
I don't know.
no, it made like a news headline that came across the feed on my phone. It was I think 2 years ago, either 2020 or 2021 where they disconnected the last payphone. It was the very
Oh
last
wow.
one. Yeah.
I'm surprised it was that long. Honestly, it lasted that. I
Oh,
wonder who was using. Yeah, StreamYard does that from time to time. I was going to say it's. I'm surprised 2020 that was still around. I wonder if anyone had used it.
I know. Like I don't know how that like line was still even open.
But yeah, for folks out there, once in a while StreamYard goes glitchy and stuff. You just have to deal with it, but usually lasts just for seconds. Because I was like, what the fuck? What happened? With StreamYard, there's glitches every platform, YouTube, everything. I'm trying to remember the last thing Sinbad was in because I haven't heard of that guy in a while. Maybe he just does stand up or something. I don't know, but
He's not doing well health wise.
oh, that's sad to hear.
Yeah, he was hospitalized for a long time, and it
Mm.
was really touch and go there for a minute. Like they weren't sure that he was going to make it, and he
Oh
said,
wow, I didn't know that
"Yeah."
bad.
He said, "Damn that, I'm going to make it." And I remember him updating on social media. He's like, "I'm literally in a fight for my life, but I'm going to make it," and he did. So I'm glad that.
When was this?
Um, it was recent. I'm not sure if it was this year or last year.
Damn, I never heard anything about that in the news or anything. The hell? Guess I wasn't
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah, I think it was a stroke, but then
Jesus.
there were like other complications after.
Mm. And Predminator were about 20 minutes and 40 some seconds in.
But since we're on Sinbad, yeah, so I mentioned like cone heads and stuff like that, house guests. Homeward Bound 2. He does one of the voices of the dogs. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. There was also Meteor Man. He's in that, which is just classic. I think First Kid was probably like his biggest. I guess just because it was a Disney movie. I'm not sure how much that did, but in terms of like a lead role, he pretty much was like the full on lead of that movie. Um,
Mm.
and sharing the co-star spotlight with a kid actor, which I believe that was
Oh,
Brock
okay.
Pierce, I think.
Yeah, it was Brock Pierce.
This is just this is going crazy. I'm so glad this is not as chaotic anymore. Totally reminds me of how Black Friday was for the longest. He maced him.
He got two. He got two. He got two. Tit for tat. That's what you get.
Yeah.
The film I remember Sinbad in was Necessary Roughness, the football one with Scott Bakula. And
Right.
who was the lady who was it? Not Cindy Crawford, was it? It was not her.
Mm,
Kathy Ireland.
yeah.
She was
Okay.
like came in to kick. I think she kicked the football,
Mm-hmm.
the field goal.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't Rob Schneider in that?
Oh, I think he was the announcer. He might have been the announcer in that. I think
Yeah.
Hector Elizondo was a pretty interesting
Yeah.
cast.
Robert Loggia. Yeah.
But thank you, Bobby. You're always kind, man. Um, the whole true fan thing is all bullshit. There's no such thing as a true fan. I mean, if you liked it, you liked it. If you don't, you don't. Just because you don't love everything in a franchise doesn't mean you're not a true fan. That's stupid. If you love everything, good on you. If you don't like some aspects, doesn't mean you're not a fan. That's like saying what? I'm not a Diamond Elm Street fan because I think Part 5 sucks dick because I don't like a kid puking on Freddy to death. Uh, so fuck them, Bobby. Tell them to go fuck themselves. I know you don't curse, but fuck. Tell them. I'll say they can go fuck themselves. They like whatever you want, hate whatever you want. But don't worry, Bobby. I've had that happen. You're not a true Stallone fan because you thought, uh, what was that movie? State Plan sucked. Yeah, I did think it sucked. Those two finally did a movie together, and it's this.
Although
Way too late.
up against the sequels, it's much better than like
Yeah,
I could have
yeah,
ever imagined it to be. Like those sequels are
yeah.
horrible, just awful movies.
I can't deny that. Yeah. Those are the sequels he made. It's like all these sequels that we never got. And no Cobra 2, no Demolition Cliffhanger 2. But he basically State Plan 2 and 3.
Yeah,
James Belushi,
that's
Red
right.
Heat reunion.
Yes, yes,
Do you like Red Heat?
yeah. Not one of my ones that I've watched a ton as much as of
Yeah.
the other Arnold stuff, but I appreciate the movie. Yeah, it's a fun watch.
If anyone likes that film, I recommend on go on YouTube, look up the TV spots because there's certain TV spots that specifically have new footage of like Arnold or Belushi introducing the TV spot in character, which is
Okay.
interesting little piece. But yeah, and I always like James Belushi,
Yeah.
K9, the Principal, quite a few other movies of his that I've enjoyed. And
Do you remember what other Arnold movie he was in?
Last Action Hero is a cameo.
Yes. That's it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But he did as a favor to Arnold because they hit it off. And if you do have the Blu-ray, I'm not sure if it's on all the editions of it, but there's a piece with the two of them like going back and forth, Arnold and Jim, and it's so funny. You could just tell like they're friends, you know, like just the way they bullshit back
Yeah.
and forth, and they're just standing around like waiting to like shoot something and smoking cigars and just having fun.
So Jesse's asking, have you ever seen the Charity Kid with Sinbad? Also had Burt Reynolds, Gregory Hines, and James Coburn in it.
Yes, and Ernie Hudson. Been a long time for that one, but I have seen it. Yes,
I think that was a HBO movie or something. I keep thinking that was like a cable movie. Maybe
I
not.
think
I don't
that's
know.
where I first saw it. So if it was, I could believe that.
I mean, it's a different action story, but I see something like this, and uh, it still makes me wish to see that Stallone film with John Candy that John Hughes was going to do in the early '90s, Bartholomew versus Death. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've heard of that.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
With they're going to play two feuding neighbors.
that would have
Just
been
I think
cool.
action story with the right material, they can work well in comedy.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And Pred, the Turbo Man suit was inspired by the Flash.
Hmm. Okay.
And Brian had a good time like creating all the stuff. The director, he talks about that in the making of as well. Like that was one of his favorite things, getting to like design. Well, him and a team designing all the stuff for the character, the suit, um, coming up with the comic and shooting the stuff. Like he shot all the like the TV show stuff, the commercial stuff for Turbo Man. Like he did it all. What time are you on? Just so I can make sure we're still synced up good.
I'm about 36 minutes and 50 seconds in, around there.
Okay.
Let me go through the comments real quick. Stallone can't do an action film with Jackie Chan, but he does shitty direct-to-DVD sequels. And he's that paycheck, I guess. It's not like he doesn't have enough money, I guess. What else tell my more thoughts on Good Burger since Sinbad was in that as a teacher?
Good Burger. Uh, I liked Good Burger as a kid. I have not seen it since then, so I don't know if it still holds up or if I'll still like it. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I liked it at the time.
Yeah, Predminator, we're getting to the Santa showdown pretty soon.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of Good Burger. I saw that. It was just I was not a fan of the movie. I guess because I didn't grow up with the skit on Teen and Kel, and it just really annoying to me. So I'm not a fan of Good Burger.
Yeah, I mean it's probably been a good 20 years since I've seen it, so I can't even comment as to whether or not it's still fun. I know a lot of people do love it. It's got like a cult following now,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
oh yeah.
just
That's why they're
I
doing a
I just
sequel.
never had any interest to go back to see it. So it's like,
Yeah, well, for number one, I like Bad Santa. Bad Santa 2, not so much. But the first Bad Santa I do enjoy. Yeah,
Wasn't
Neopunk, we passed that scene.
wasn't that the
Go
Coen
ahead.
brothers script originally?
Uh,
The original Bad
I
Santa?
don't know.
I think it
I don't know
was. I
about that.
remember reading that somewhere, like that was the Coen brothers.
They go on the trampoline,
Yeah.
nunchucks.
And this
This we're
scene was
definitely
cut.
going ridiculous mode.
This scene was cut in certain showings on TV. I don't know why. Just the nunchucks scene.
Okay. Was that in the US or was that overseas?
It was overseas.
Okay, that's why. They absolutely hate nunchucks. The Ninja Turtles,
Hmm.
anytime they were shown, they would cut every scene with nunchucks. Yeah, that's why Ninja was called Hero Turtles over there. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Uh,
No.
and then nunchucks was seemed so violent. That's why in the 80s cartoon that he went to using that hook thing. There's like the thing he throws and uh, I forget what it's called, grappling hook. Mikey didn't use
Okay.
the nunchucks anymore in that old cartoon
Hmm.
because apparently nunchucks are too violent. But a sword's not violent. Cut your head off. But
Right.
yeah, the Big Show and Vern Troyer
Yeah.
double team. Well, premiere, I don't know which cut of the film you're watching. Yeah, we're watching the hour and 33-minute cut, and
Oh yeah. If
we
you're
just
watching
had
the theatrical, it might be off.
yeah. That's why we mentioned it's the hour and 33-minute version. No, premiere, we're not there yet.
No, that scene's
At the end,
about
it
to
depends on
happen.
which. Yeah, that's why we mentioned we're at the hour and 33-minute cut premiere.
Yeah, we're watching the Family Fun edition.
That's why I said the hour and 33-minute cut.
Yeah, that the cut you have, Pred, is I think it's missing like 11 scenes or something. There's a lot of scenes in there that's not in that cut.
Shows how really stupid these cops are. Believe a toy bag.
Right. Yeah, Pred, if you can find a different cut like on streaming, just let us know. We'll give you the time.
Well, if you have the one DVD, I think it has both cuts of the film on it.
Oh, does it? Okay.
There's yeah, the DVD. I don't know if on the Blu-ray, but the DVD that I got has both cuts of the film on it.
Okay. I
You
think
could
the
choose.
Blu-ray just has one cut. I could be wrong though. I'd have to check again.
I don't know why they do that. All it's like Friday, you can only find the longer cut, which that's why I have the
Mhm.
DVD there. Is the better cut.
Mhm.
Same with Dumb and Dumber. They only have the longer cut, which I think is not as good. What I prefer
Mhm.
the theatrical cut, but that I don't know why they do that. Just put both cuts of the film on there. A
Yeah.
Blu-ray can fit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think my one of my copies of The Frighteners was only the director's cut, and I hate the director's cut.
Which one?
The Frighteners.
Oh, what was different in the director's cut? They hate it so much.
It's just so it's too silly. Like the theatrical cut, obviously, it's funny. It's got silly moments, but like the director's cut just adds even more comedy, and the jokes go on longer. And
Mm,
like if it's a good joke, if like the scene's good, like you can get in and get out and like have your joke and then cut to the next thing. But in that one, like it just goes on, and I'm like, it's not as
mm,
funny. It just doesn't work for me. And the only redeeming sequence in that one is that they use the real um, death figure that they created for the film. But most of the film, I
mm.
think it's CGI. But in that cut, there is the big. It's huge. I can't remember how tall it is, but it's a really huge like death figure puppet. It looks fucking cool. I love that thing. But
Nice.
for some reason they cut that out of the theatrical version. I'm like, why? Like it looks awesome. Just use it.
See, even though that's in the director's cut, you still prefer the theatrical because
Hmm.
it's
Even
less.
though they
Okay.
do have the practical death figure with the huge cloak and everything, like it's not in the movie that much to where
Mm,
like I'd rather watch that version over the theatrical.
gotcha. And people are saying that the Blu-ray of this does have both cuts. That's cool. So the
Oh,
Blu-ray of
okay.
this does have both cuts.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't sure on that. I'm not watching my Blu-ray. It's in the other room. I'm just watching a stream of it.
That's right. You always gotta go for physical media. Yeah.
Hmm. Luckily, I was able to find a
Which-
stream of the extended version.
yeah. It's funny. Even more and more people are now like crying out for physical media to stay. Like James Woods posted something about how I still
Hmm.
have my DVDs and my Blu-rays and my vinyl, and
Hmm.
I'm still keeping them and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron Brown. I appreciate that. That's cool. JB, it's cool to hear about the Playmates thing. I don't really collect that much, but that's very cool.
And that's a real toy, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a real toy.
Was there ever a toy you wanted for Christmas and you never got, but you always wish you had gotten?
No, no. I was really spoiled. I was an only child, so I got everything I wanted.
Premier is asking, are you watching on Prime streaming
No,
wise?
no. This is a stream from an undisclosed location on the
Location in
internet.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
And Aaron Brown, I don't care about any Grand Theft Auto games coming out. I've only played like the third for back to PlayStation 2, so I'm not the guy to ask about that.
Um, I'm excited, but it's very contained excitement. I mean, it's 2025 is the release date. Like I can hardly be that excited. It looks great. I'm interested in it. I will get it. I've been playing GTA since the first game on PS1 when nobody knew what it
Hey,
was,
Garrett,
and I love the franchise. What's up, Garrett?
how's the relief fund going? I saw that I tried to watch Salo, so I have like a fund going. Watch more shitting. Good, good luck with that.
Right?
Eat some shit for Christmas.
It's either that or one of the vomit gore movies.
No, it's gonna be for Salo. I know that they've been planning on it. They want Garrett to watch Salo so badly.
I would try
It's
to
an
get
awful fucking movie.
CK and Garrett. Like I want and UB. I want all those guys. Hell, I'll join it if you guys are willing to watch one of those vomit movies. That'd be awesome. I know he won't though.
Why? Why? I watched Run with Patrick Dempsey. I think of that because last time I was on, I saw Garrett on the stream. I mentioned that movie. Like we know that film. That still does have a Blu-ray. Run, underrated film with Patrick Dempsey.
Mhm.
Let's get it. Let's to Kill with Richard Grieco. I watch
Yes.
a movie like that.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, you definitely gotta check out Let's to Kill with Richard Grieco. Spider-Man stole from it. That one where he went overseas.
Mhm.
What was that one called? It was with Home and then Homecoming, Far From Home. It stole from Illustrated Kill. Some of the plot. No, Run is not even on DVD, which is bullshit. But
Yeah,
Flesh Eater is.
Flesh Eater has a 4K. Yeah,
Fuck the Flesh Eater.
If Looks Could Kill was great because like it just it's so fun. That's a fun movie. You know what? Like I haven't seen that in a long time, but I still vividly remember it. I have a VHS recording of that movie. Um, it might be on YouTube or like Daily Motion or one of those sites.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The only DVD that was like a Warner Archive, so it was like a DVD R. So it's like still not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, DJ. Hope you're doing well, man. That's your dancer, pricer, fix it, comic, tip it, diameters. Hey, Arnold's in shape, and this is God, I forgot his name. This guy, I've seen a lot of stuff. The radio DJ guy.
Right. Yeah. Martin Mull.
Yeah, and he broke the fucking door too. Just the glass, everything. Who will pay for that? It's a bomb.
His reaction is great.
This is around the time where it was like all the news of people going postal because like Tales of the Crypt Demon Knight was around the same era, and that had Charles Fleischer as the crazy mailman who had all these weapons, and then this guy. It was all about going postal. Thankfully, we don't hear that much anymore. They just break your shit, or they just fucking the security where they throw your packages.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those videos. I'd be pissed if that happened to me. Like, here's your video game system. A side note, have you had a bad experience with the mail of any sort that comes to mind? Like something like, what the hell happened here?
I've had lost packages before, but that's about it.
Okay.
There aren't too many things that I've gotten damaged other than like the talk to me hand was damaged. And I'm pretty sure that was due to shipping. I know I see a lot of people on Reddit post about their damaged steelbooks from Best Buy. And like they blame Best Buy, but I'm like, it's not really their fault. It is, but it isn't because one, their packaging isn't very protective, but also the main thing in transit, it's being thrown like a fucking frisbee more than likely. It's they don't care about those packages. They have a deadline to meet, and if it's not met, like it's gonna be an issue for them. Like I've talked to one guy and he's like a mailman and it was like middle of the day and he was upset that like I didn't move quick enough and he's like was it? Yeah, he said, I got 600 fucking stops to make. Next time, could you like hurry up? And I was like, okay, dude. Like, I didn't know. Like, he was really pissed. Like, they're under a lot of stress. I guess that's why they go postal, as the phrase goes.
Yeah, Aaron Brown, I saw your comment. I don't care about the girl from Stream being fired. I say she sure got fired for being a shitty actress. But yeah, I mean, the reason she got fired is stupid, but it's Hollywood. What do you expect? Same old, same old. But yeah, I would have fired her for giving a shitty performance. But it's Hollywood. What do you expect? I don't care about Scream 7. Everybody should be fired from that movie. Fuck Scream 7. Fuck Scream 6. Fuck Scream 5. I was even fuck Scream 4. Fuck all that. You didn't need that many Scream films, in my opinion.
Sure.
Just my opinion. I'll stick with Scream 3 with Creed. We're back, baby. Reunion tour 2024.
Not to get on the Scream stuff too much, but listening
Let's go for it.
Mick Garris's podcast, once again, I've been listening to it a lot this week, just while I work. And Kevin Williamson was on.
Yeah.
He talked about how he was excited to come back for the fourth film, because he had a great idea for the script, and they had a lot of bad interactions with the third one because of his schedule. He had written like I think a 35-page outline for it, and then they screwed it up somehow. And he was like, "Well, I'm bowing out. Like, I can say no." And so he did. He walked away from the project halfway through, and then they used a few pieces of his stuff. And I think he said he didn't watch the third one for years because like he went through a lawsuit with the Weinsteins, and yeah, it was a bad deal. But for the fourth one, he comes back and he thinks it's going to be different, and it was somewhat similar situation. So that fourth movie wasn't even what it was supposed to be originally. The script that they ended up with got tampered with. He said that they brought in 8 new writers to like go over his script and make changes. But yeah, but anyway, back to Jingle All the Way. This lady in the truck, you know who that is, right?
No.
Just take a guess.
Melissa McCarthy. I know it's not. I don't know.
She tells him to like have some emotion and like, oh, you shouldn't be like that.
I don't know.
Dialogue. She tells him to put on a dress. Yeah, so do you remember the scene in the first Terminator where it's Sarah, but it's not Sarah? Like he's looking for Sarah
her?
Connor. Yeah, that's her.
The guy he shoots and then he empties his gun. That's her? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like
how the hell did that happen?
She has the red dot like on her forehead.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's her. Her name's God, I don't want to butcher it. It's kind of a tongue twister, her name. Marianne Mueller-Lely. I think that's how you say it. Marianne Mueller-Lely. Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff. She's still acting too.
So yeah, she's the first lady that Arnold kills in the Terminator. The first lady, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the first lady, the president. I mean, like the first woman that Arnold killed.
Yeah.
Well, I never knew that.
Yeah, that's she. That's why, like, I think that line was in there. I'm not sure if that was in the original script, but she says, like, show a little emotion, which is what he doesn't do in Terminator. So it's, I think it's kind of a little in joke. Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff. She did after that. I know she's in Memento. She's in Liar Liar, which I like as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Executive Decision, which was, I believe, the same year as this. I think that's 96. She's in a bunch of stuff. She still acts. She's always cool to see pop up in smaller roles.
Oh, okay, cool. But no, Bobby never tried out those snacks. Hey there, Caleb. Hi there, Hudro. Greetings from Cali. We're watching the longer Family Fun editions. We're about 59 minutes and 10 seconds in. Aaron Brown, I like Stream 3 as well. Yes, I do remember Blackula vaguely. You have a graphic novel. I never knew they had a graphic novel, Blackula, but that's interesting. But I do remember Blackula. I'm sure they'll remake that. Probably have Idris Elba or someone in it. That'd be funny.
He almost had the Turbo Man right here. Almost.
Yeah, almost. You already did your birthday and entering. It's too late for that.
Yeah, you might as well just take it.
I do appreciate how this is done, like whether animatronic or however, because nowadays this would be all CGI. So I can
Yeah,
at least appreciate that.
So for obviously some shots, there's the real one.
Yeah.
They did have a real one on set, and then the other stuff is all like they built the reindeer.
It looks pretty neat because it still holds up because it's real, it's in camera, and
Mm-hmm.
like I say, if it was CGI, especially this era, it would not hold up nearly as well. Because even higher budget films, like I like The Mummy,
Mm-hmm.
CGI doesn't hold up the best, but I still like the movie quite a bit, and there's a lot of movies like that in that era, just with how CGI. I think CGI is quicker to get antiquated more than practical effects. Like CGI looks, it just looks more fake to me. Like if you have practical effects in the 80s, they look more real than CGI in the late 90s. And I don't know what it is, just like it seems like CGI ages quicker in a weird way to me than
Mm-hmm.
practical.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, DJ, you probably weren't here before. Mark mentioned Joe Pesci they wanted him for it, and then they got Sinbad. I think it would have been interesting if Joe Pesci, even if it was like his character in Gone Fishing, which I enjoyed with him and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
I think it could have worked. It definitely would have been different, but Sinbad does a good job. I'm glad he got the role.
Same. Yeah. He brought a certain energy to it that I'm sure Pesci would have been fine, but I love improvisation in movies. It keeps everything spontaneous, and when you're in the moment, you're in character, you're in the wardrobes and all that stuff. You never know what's going to come out. Like it's not like Sinbad sat down and he's like, "Oh, I'll write a joke for this scene or that." No, it's just whatever you feel in the moment comes out, and I love that in really any movie, comedy, action, horror, whatever. It's always nice to see a natural performance that isn't depicted completely 100% from the page.
So first he knocked out a camel, now he knocks out a reindeer.
Yeah.
Now he needs to knock out a donkey nowadays. Or a horse. Go through all of them.
Yeah.
He'll come in for Team Conan. He'll knock out a horse this time. Hey, Lord Cosmo. Hope you're doing well. Aaron Brown, they're not rebooting Spider-Man anytime soon. They don't wait for Tom Holland to beg for another chance because he won't have any jobs anywhere else. because anything else he does flops. And yes, Josh, I got your request. I'll watch the film when I can. It looks like a shitty movie though, but I'll do what I can, Josh. No
Oh,
such thing. It looks like some shitty like Beauty and the Beast thing. But it's Robert John Bird with a fucked up face or some whatever.
yeah. Pred, I know all about that. I watched Brian talk about how difficult it was to shoot all that. They had, I think, over 300 extras, and a lot of people were really uncomfortable because it doesn't look like it, and of course, it's made to not look like it. It is 100 degrees out here, so everybody was pretty uncomfortable. Like they're all wearing turtlenecks and huge coats and hats, but it's 100 degrees outside right now. Especially Arnold, like he had a difficult time in the suit. He was so hot.
And one thing about it is, I never understood the appeal of parades. I always thought it was boring as shit. I never watched them. So I never understood what was the big appeal of parades, but I get a lot of people are into them.
You
I
hate
just
him
think they're
like
just
CK.
no. I mean, I forgot he said that. Maybe not as that bad, but it's just like okay, it's fun to watch in like a couple minute montage, sure, but like the full thing for like I don't know how long they go, half hour or something. I don't know if I could do that. Like stand around outside and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a movie, it works like that quick shot, but I don't know if real life I want to be standing around for a fucking parade thing.
Yeah, like they have a parade here. They had one last month, and they're gonna have another one like for Christmas and everything. And I never go out for it. And it's a million police cars, and it's loud, and it's like 2 minutes away from where I live, on the main street right here, and it is just annoyingly loud. I never feel compelled to go out and stand around.
JB says, I still remember getting to see the parade sets from this movie when I visited Universal Studios California in 1997. Interesting. So you're at Universal Studios around this time? That's interesting, JB. How was that
Yeah,
experience?
they I think they built 4 big parade floats from scratch, and that was one thing he was really excited about, was designing the whole parade, having all these characters and toys and stuff. Um, for this to be the climax of the film, he definitely went all in. So I could appreciate
Oh
that
yeah.
no matter what you put on screen. If you go all in like this, and it's the climax that should be in something like this, where it's all been building to this, all the adventure that they've had so far. Like, I appreciate that.
Sweet Persuade. Hey, Uncle Rambo. God, I'm old enough to be an uncle, man. Well, I'm pretty old, so there's that. I am 40. So that's pretty old. Shit.
Oh, we didn't mention the bomb that went off,
Yeah.
which I can't believe they did, looking back, but it was done playfully, and that's why the cop he only has burnt hands from a bomb going off.
So I made to assume that he made the bomb, but he didn't think it would go off, or he made the bomb, but he thought it was fake. Sinbad, like he was surprised it went off.
Yeah, he had a line where he said that hundreds of these things go through the mail system every day,
Oh
and he was
yeah,
just faking with the small package that he have, and it was like some sort of like music box or something. So he took another one out when he got surrounded by the cops, and he's like, "Oh, I have a bomb," but he just did that to get away, and it actually was a bomb when the cop opened it.
that's true. Centrifuge, hey there, you're 2 years younger than me. Well, there you go. At least that's something. Andy Kishore liked The Sopranos season 1. Thanks for asking. That was a request. I liked it. You think they'd be more cautious on if they have the right actor? Imagine if he was like a nutcase and he just went crazy and just, we don't know who you are. Let's put you in the costume. I don't know if you're the right guy. Hopefully you're not some crazy nut that
Yeah.
goes off and massacres a whole parade. But that'll probably be the next thing. I would not be surprised. I mean, we saw it in Thanksgiving, the movie. Funny enough, we were talking about it, and that was a massacre of the parade.
Yeah.
And that's from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
That guy.
That line was another thing that was cut.
Yeah. He was
And
also in.
they definitely wouldn't include that today. That would be seen as insensitive, and it's not woke.
But yeah, Curtis Armstrong. He was also John Cusack's buddy in Better Off Dead, and I think he was in that director's other film, One Crazy Summer, I believe, with Bobcat Goldthwait, and of course famous for being Booger in Revenge of the Nerds 1 and 2. I think he was in the other ones. That's a film that we canceled today, Revenge of the Nerds. When you go back and rewatch that, the scene where the girl that's like drugged.
Yeah.
So I guess he technically starts with an R, rhymes with an ape.
Well, I mean, some of this stuff in Porky's as well. Like, it wouldn't be seen as comedy today.
We all want to wash girls in showers, though. I know. I wouldn't put my Theenie in the hole because I'd be afraid of it being ripped off, but watching. So you've seen Porky's. Okay. I just never thought about those type of comedies with you. So you've seen stuff like Porky's?
I love Porky's. That's easily one of my top 5 like sex comedies ever made.
Nice.
And that's a subgenre that's, I would say, is kind of dead now.
Well, yeah, this world today, yeah, it'd be too
but
misogynistic.
What's weird is that like American Pie was shit on for years, like since the whole like Me Too and all the woke stuff happened. And then they make a new one. The last one that they did was an all-female version of American Pie. And don't ask me why, but I watched a little bit of it and I'm like, that doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It's 4 girls trying to lose their virginity and they're in high school. I'm like, that movie be over in like 5 minutes if it were actually.
I was gonna say it's a 5-minute movie, right?
And they're attractive women. Like, I don't get how that was supposed to be a challenge for those characters. But whatever.
You try to tell me they actually was effort for them to.
They struggled.
There was guys saying.
No, they just struggled.
What's the movie called?
I'll just look it up real quick. It was on Netflix.
Real quick, like, yes, it's interviews. Bob Clark, who did Rhinestone, did Porky's, as well as the original Black Christmas and other movies. Thanksgiving, Story. Aaron Brown. I just uploaded a review of it. Feel free to check out that review. Hey, Ty, the movie guy. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Arnold is definitely having fun with this. Also having fun with that big paycheck.
Yeah.
We need to stop using the word woke and replace it with insane. I thought it was the same thing. I thought it was the same word. It means the same thing to me. By the way, DJ, I'm curious. Was it you that said you saw the Game Awards? What won Best Game of the Year? I'm just curious. And someone's mentioned, well, isn't it the ending pointless? No, I mean, yeah, Arnold, the toy gets back, but that's the whole point, is that it doesn't matter. What mattered was that I think the kid saw how much effort his dad went into making him happy and trying to fulfill a promise, even endangering his life. That because of that is what made the kid impressed. And that's why he says, I have the real Turbo Man. I don't need a toy. So that's him respecting his dad. That was the whole point of it. It wasn't the toy itself. It was him keeping a promise.
Yeah.
Which is what the kid wanted all along. So that was the whole goal of the movie.
And after everything he went through, his wife asks him at the end of the movie, "What did you get me for Christmas?" It's like, hasn't he done enough? Like, been flying around and falling off buildings and.
But isn't that kind of weird that you don't get your wife anything for Christmas? You should have thought of that like a week before or 2 weeks before. Should that even be a question? Like, oops, wife, sorry, I didn't get you anything for Christmas. What? Hey, she didn't want something specific. She didn't even go, did you give me this? She just asked, what did you give it? She could have been anything. It could have been a pair of socks or something.
He should have went into the bathroom and came out naked with a bow wrapped around his dick. Like, this is what I got you.
It's the penetrator.
Yeah.
It is the penetrator. Hey there, Rat Hammer. Greetings to you as well. So what was the name of that movie? The female
American Pie Girls Rules came out 2020.
So it was that tough for a bunch of hot women to lose their virginities. So it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That's more sci-fi than Blade Runner.
Right. Yeah.
And for Cosmo, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, that I'll take that. Like, the CGI there, that's I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, for a costume that's only meant for a parade cosplay, is pretty high tech for all the shit it has.
Right.
I mean, I know this is supposed to do this little show, but to have a real jetpack and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if many parades have that kind of costumes in it.
Exactly. He's wearing a giant fuel tank on his back.
There's no danger in that.
No, not at all.
Thank you, Rat Hammer. I appreciate that. Jake Lloyd still sucks as an actor. I'm sorry. This is line reading, man. But I'll leave him alone. He got picked on a lot throughout the years. Well, Arnold bows the Power Ranger rejets, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. While Sinbad wears what looks like a dildo on his head. It does look like a dildo on his head.
I think when a kid, that did bother me a little bit that he gave the toy away. But I couldn't see the bigger picture, obviously, back then.
Yep. Yeah. Give someone a real jetpack.
Yeah.
That will, in a crowded place. What could go wrong? Here's a jetpack. I hope this jetpack doesn't blow up or something. There's a crowd only like 5 feet away.
Yeah, for a lot of the wire work, Arnold was he said he was pretty nervous for it because they were lifting him up and stuff. And
Yeah.
he just wasn't used to that kind of thing. But I'm glad he did it because it still a lot of the stuff where you can tell it is wire work does look cool.
But I
And they
guess if
have
you want to
the
see Arnold as Superman, this is the closest you get.
yeah, or Iron Man. He has the helmet camera on, which they implemented for the POVs.
Hmm.
Yeah, they the stuff where it's the POVs that's like full on wire work. They're carrying him along, through the street, and he's got a helmet camera on his head.
Okay. Pretty damn long drop.
Yeah.
Didn't break himself or the jetpack. But I mean, in a weird way, this is definitely. I know this is going to sound weird, but a lot of these films would not have been made if it wasn't for how huge Home Alone was. Because you have the
Hmm.
holiday, you have all the stunt work being done, all the crazy physical antics. Just John Hughes wrote some of them, but you had like what was that? Some of them are not holidays, but like Baby's Day Out, where you had like
Hmm.
the baby that's being courted everywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of movies of that. Saw Richie Rich with Macaulay Culkin. A lot of that stuff throughout the 90s.
Yeah. You had that definitely from the early 90s on into the mid 90s. And those films kind of disappeared. They were family films, but definitely kid movies first. And I guess you could call it sort of like kid empowerment movies. There was a lot of those where kids were running things like, I guess House Arrest would be a good example. That was mid 90s. Um, or Camp Nowhere. I think that was like 94 or 95, where again, the kids are
Yeah.
running everything.
Yeah, Rat Hammer. Mark mentioned that a lot earlier in the commentary. You weren't around. He mentioned about Sinbad. He was might have been a
Mhm.
stroke or something. Wish him the best.
Yeah, he's doing he's doing better now, thankfully, but it for a while it was looking really bad.
So let me ask you, since I know we're getting to near the end, but Arnold,
Mhm.
in a way, is kind of like getting to the end of his career in a way,
Hmm.
because he had
Mhm.
a few movies after this, but
Mhm.
this is kind of the start of the downhill of Arnold. Even though I liked a lot of those movies, the box office was not True Lies or Terminator 2 or Total Recall aspects.
Mhm.
Batman and Robin, End of Days, which I love, but that didn't do well.
End
Collateral
of Days.
Damage. Yeah, End of Days didn't do well at all. I love that film.
Mhm.
That was 99. And
Eraser did good though, right?
it did okay. It seemed like it broke even. I think it made 100 million US, but it cost 100 million.
Mhm.
So it probably with some money overseas might have broken even. Maybe even a minor hit, but it wasn't True Lies or Terminator 2 money,
Mhm.
especially for the budget. Because 100 million is a lot in '96.
I thought End of Days did well.
It only made about 60 some million in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and it made a little bit of money overseas, but it was considered a bomb and a disappointment by a lot of people.
Hold on, I still have the gross open for Jingle All the Way because we were talking about that. Let me see.
Yeah, collateral damage bombed, 6 Day bombed. Yeah, go
End
ahead.
of Days was shot on a budget of 100 million. Box office intake was 212 million.
Yeah, a lot of overseas. I think it made like 66 or so million in the US.
66 in the US, 145
Yeah.
million elsewhere for a total of 212.
Because with that budget, who knows also how much was marketing? Because I know that was
Mm-hmm.
marketed heavy at the time. Remember seeing a lot of trailers. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
even with the money you make, you don't get all that money. Movie theater chains get a chunk.
Mm-hmm.
They get a percentage. Overseas, I don't know how that works with overseas people, if they get a chunk of change as well, and how much the studio actually gets back. So,
Well, I would
uh,
imagine they would get a lot of it, especially if they're handling international distribution themselves. I would think they would get
mhm,
pretty much all of that. Of course, the
mhm.
theater chains probably get a cut, but
Yeah.
it might have done I mean, initially, of course, box office wise, you would want something like that to do at least like 300 million, 250 to 300 to be considered a full on
Yeah.
success. But let's see.
It was definitely a
Um,
flop in the US. I'll put it that way. It's definitely a flop in the US.
it says the film was profitable because of strong international revenue and DVD sales.
Mm.
He received a cut of 25 million, Arnold, for his role in the film. Um, so yeah, I was thinking about that. DVD sales and like VHS probably gave them a lot more on the back end. Because
Mhm.
212 against 100 isn't bad. Um, but I'm sure it's not what they wanted. I know they wanted way more, considering it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh,
And that was, I think,
there was the line right
I think
there.
that
We missed
what he
that.
did for me for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, like, why would you wait till if your wife just get her anything, get her, like you said, come out with a bow and a on his dick and say it's
Yeah.
the penetrator, the Christmas. But I think this is End of Days was the first film he did after his heart surgery, I believe.
Hmm.
So I think they were hoping like, okay, this is a big comeback I can show you, and then
Mm-hmm.
only making 60 some million US probably wasn't the best
Yeah.
impression he wanted.
Yeah. I know they had to be disappointed by that. Because genuinely you wanted to do just as good as overseas, if not more, in the US.
Mm-hmm.
But
And how much
once
did this movie make in the US? In the
um
US, this
let me
one
go
made?
back. Let me go back. It
Hey
did.
Silverwings, hope you're doing well, man. He actually uploaded a video where he shot a golden gun. He has an actual golden gun, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I checked out a few of his videos. I saw some of those guns. It's a cool collection, buddy. Um, so 129.8 million worldwide. I'm trying to find the breakdown though. What was?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to reception, box office, receipts.
200 Silverwings can't complain. Just hanging out, drinking some mellow yellow, just watch Jingle All the Way. It was a request for Predminator. Thanks once again, man. He says the movie flew by fast. Credits are rolling for me. Yeah, it just started rolling about a minute ago for us because we're watching the longer cut. You got to, you got to.
Yeah, it goes by so
Down,
quick.
bro.
It's such a fun movie.
Yeah, it's
Um,
only 90. God forbid, only 90 minutes. Doesn't have to be 2.5 hours. Like so many
mhm,
fucking films nowadays. Even
yeah.
some comedies are 2.5 hours, for Christ's sake. Jesus.
So 12.1 million in its first weekend, opening number 4 behind Star Trek, Space Jam, which was a huge juggernaut at the time. That made a shitload of money, and Ransom. So it definitely had some competition. The film was released in December in the UK instead of November, which was probably a bad idea. Why would you release it later? I don't know how that works, but
well, it's probably November because Christmas season. Late November, you're getting ready for December. It's about Christmas, consumerism. So, plus look at all the movies that were big hits in this. In that, I mean, Titanic, Avatar. There's a lot of Lord of the Rings. I think was around this like month wise. So, it's a kids movie. A lot of people go see it. Maybe Thanksgiving holiday or something.
Yeah. They did do well, I guess they sold out all of the actual Turbo Man figures. So they made some money there.
So this made 60 million in the US, says here.
Yeah.
And like a $75 million budget. So not the best. I'm sure they were hoping at least 100 million in the US, I mean.
Yeah.
Good thing James Cameron didn't direct this. It'd be 3 hours long or 3.5 hours long. Hey, Anthony, how you doing, man? Sorry I couldn't stay for your game award thing. I was doing this tonight. What won the best game?
What's up, Anthony?
I was Anthony from Let's Talk Resident Evil. It seemed that was a dog shit game awards, as usual. Jordan Peele was even on there.
Wow. What the hell?
With Kojima, I guess they're going to do a game together or something.
Okay.
Or something.
Huh.
Is it going to be about racism and Silent Hill? Herman Head goes out to white people. Like Candyman.
I think I did see something where he's working on a new game on Instagram. But I thought it was going to be with Norman Reedus again. I think it's Death Stranding 2. But maybe he's got multiple projects going. I'm not sure.
Baldur's Gate 3 won, but it was a shit show. Alan Wake 2 swept up many of the awards.
Figured Alan Wake 2 would have pretty much a clean sweep.
Did it win for Woke's Game of the Year? Because I think it can win for that. Fucking, on a side note, I've seen a friend of mine play that game. Alan Wake 2 looks like a huge heaping of shit. I would fucking hate it. I love Alan Wake 1. I do. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. They take a white character, they change her black just because like she was a white character in the previous game. They change her black for this, the lead character, the lead detective. Because she was with the guy who looks like Max Payne in a different game. So they change her to black in this one just because.
Yeah.
Too many white people. And
I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet. It's in the pipeline. I'm going to get to it. I have so many games to get to. I'm still trying to get through RoboCop. But it is very much slow motion on all of that. I need to get
if you waited
back into it.
If you waited 13 years to see musical dancing and musical numbers and with Alan Wake singing and dancing and no ending and a plot that just went in a fucking 360 ended right where it began at the end of the first game. No progression. Enjoy.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
Hey, a lot of people liked it. I'm not going to spoil any more since he didn't play it, but to me, it looked like absolute dog shit. And
Wow.
then
Okay.
like the it trying to play like a shitty version of Resident Evil 4 with the
Mm.
behind like I don't know. It just was not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, I'll get to it. It's on the list.
Fucking thing. Of course, Resident Evil 4 did win because that's a good game.
That should have won. That was that will go down in history as the best like remake of all time. I don't think
The best?
there's I'd say so, yeah.
Hmm.
There's a lot of them out there, but that one's in the top tier for me. Like playing through that
What about Resident
was
Evil 1? What about the Resident Evil 1 remake?
meh. I don't think it's
Really?
bad. No, like here's the thing. If 4 is your favorite,
I'm just kidding.
no,
Or,
like seriously though, like if 4 is your favorite,
right.
then it's going
I
to
mean,
be
I still
your
like
number
the
one.
original 4 more. I like the
Mhm,
remake though, but I like the original
mhm.
because the remake Ada sucks ass. She can't have for shit, and I hate that they cut shit out to put in separate ways.
Mhm,
I hate that shit, like the laser room and the what was that boss U3. Like they cut
mhm.
the shit out just to have this wooden shitty actress who can't emote called Ada. She can't emote for shit. She's like, "Hey there, I am Ada 1. Would you like some hot pockets?" Where the fuck her acting was. I know she got a lot of shit.
Uh-huh.
She, but she sucks. I'm not saying you have to attack her. No, I'm just saying she
Mhm.
sucks at her job, and she should have been fired 5 minutes in her recording. Fucking
Yeah, I
our
hey.
goddamn wooden table had more emotion than her. For fuck's sake! I mean, goddamn robot android, fucking performance.
Yeah, that
But
was
anyway,
somewhat
it's
baffling
it's a
though.
fun remake. It's a fun
Yeah,
remake.
I think what impressed me the most was the visuals. I cranked that game all the way up. Um, it's a gorgeous game. I I will have to say it's probably the best looking Resident Evil game so far. Um, stylistically, I don't. Well, I know 8 has its moments, and 7 is so dark, and not in tone, just like lighting wise. Like that's a really dark game.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think a lot of the best visuals are somewhat hidden, but I love 4. Like I want to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hmm, yeah,
Anthony, come on here. We'll talk Resident Evil.
yeah.
But thanks, Predminator, for that. Yeah, come on here, man. Let's all three talk about Resident Evil. Goddamn, Anthony. Come on here. Goddamn it.
it it blew me away, man. Like because I played through 4, like I said, maxed out settings, and with the PC version, you can tweak every little thing, and um, all the textures and turning everything up and making the hair. I could see every strand of hair, and like I was shocked that they went that far because I'm like, it's Resident Evil, and it's always about gameplay, not necessarily 100% visuals, although the aesthetic and the atmosphere of those games really matter, and make them what they are in a lot of ways. But I just I can't stress like enough how much I love that uh, the remake for 4. Like I tried to play 7 right after, and I was like, I like this, but like I just want to play 4 again.
Very nice.
Yeah, man. Like that's why I ran it all the way. Yes, that's another thing. The mods in 4 are insane, and they're so easy to put in. And my friend, he has a pretty strong PC like mine, and he went crazy with the mods. Like a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done. Like he put in like naked chicks and shit like that. I'm like, like that, whatever, it's cool, but like I don't need to do that. I'm more like, what weapon can I add, or like, what can I change that'll make the game that much more fun in terms of gameplay. But yeah,
A naked nemesis. Where's the naked nemesis? And he hits you with his bone. His ting gong dong. There you go. That's his whip.
Oh.
Dick coming out of nemesis. There you go. Just why did it just put over here around Jill's face? Dick around Jill's face. There you go.
Yes,
there's some artwork for that, people.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Anthony. Yeah, it definitely was.
I liked I liked RE7, except that little girl who was a shitty actress and shitty character, especially that boat section. That little girl sucked when she's trying to do her jump scares. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna punch her through the screen. You're annoying. I do like that game quite a bit, though, RE7, but she is a little dumb fuck. You just bam, smack her in the fucking face, shoot her in the face with that machine gun.
The VHS tape stuff kind of drove me nuts for a minute, but I got used to it. It bothered me. I can't lie. It did bother me a little bit, but I got used to it.
I don't think one thing about that game, I don't think you need that boat section. That flashback where you're like that bitch who turned on you in turncoat.
That bitch that turned on you.
He did.
Yeah.
Ethan. Amber Turd his ass.
Almost spit out my water.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I hate that happened to you, man. Fucking technology. Yeah, the USB, so there was like a little echo thing, sadly.
Oh, okay.
But sadly that happens. Hey, Nippy. Yeah, we just got done watching Jonah Away now. We're just shooting the shit. If you could be on for longer, that is. I like chat with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know your schedule. If you're like, I gotta go to bed, goddammit.
No.
So
cool. I'm up.
Cool.
Yeah, Hunk 100. I bet you enjoyed switching those outfits for the adult theme versions. But Nexus Mods is great. Yes, it runs smooth, but you got to have a strong PC to like crank it all the way up.
Anthony, if you're watching, you gotta get you on here. We'll just talk Resident Evil all the time, all three of us. I think that'd be fun.
I'm down for it, man.
But I know he just got done with a stream watching a shitty Game Award show, so he's probably gonna fall asleep after watching that show. It looked. I said before, at least he'll save a lot of money. It looks like there's nothing to buy. That's why I don't get a PS5, because there'd only be like 5 games I want to play. Dead Space, RoboCop. I can't remember. Maybe
Spider-Man, maybe.
Maybe. Callisto Protocol, the PS5 version, which now everybody's forgotten that game exists. I liked it. DLC pissed me off and made me hate the game, but I still like the game. But that DLC was the most bullshit DLC I've ever seen in my life.
But what was it?
Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, the DLC.
I'll spoil it. Because I don't know if you know the game Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, I know it.
Imagine playing for like 3 hours of the DLC. Then you find out it's all in your head because Josh Duhamel is dead. And then they shut him down. And then they make a shitty fourth wall joke. So it was all for nothing. And I like the character. He gets fucked over. It's always like the developers go, well, fuck you guys, so you didn't buy the game. No sequel for you. I'm like, you just wasted fucking time. Guy didn't deserve to die. And I even bitched at the guy. I was being nice by bitch. I'm like, why do you have to do this? Like, well, it's horror games, so they don't have to all end happy. I'm like, I played Dead Space 2. Isaac Clarke didn't get fucked over in the ass. He survived. He was with the girl who lost an eye. That's a pretty good game, pretty good ending. You didn't have to do it. You fucking did, though. You pissed people off and no one liked it. I wanted the few that defend your game after your bullshit, then you fuck that. So fuck that DLC. It doesn't exist in my opinion, but
is that the worst DLC you've ever had?
yes. Story-wise, it was completely pointless. Because the whole buildup is you're going to a steep. You're going to a steep. We gotta find a pod to steep. And at the end, after a few hours, psych. It was just to get this message, which that message was already sent in the game anyway, so it's just sending it again. So it's like they didn't even think it through. Fuck that shit. And thank you, Bobby. Yeah, you're always kind. It sounds good to me, Bobby. So fuck that DLC. Kiss my dick. Suck my ass. Fucking idiot. I'm not playing any one of your fucking games. That fucking guy's name, whatever the fuck his name. Fuck me over Dead Space 3. Then fuck me over this DLC. It's the last fucking straw. Whatever the fuck his name is. I forgot his fucking name. He can suck my fucking ball sacks. Sweaty and musty and all that. Fuck him. I don't care. This bullshit. All of it.
Yeah, I probably would have been pissed as well. Like that's fucked.
The fucking Callisto Protocol ends with a cliffhanger ending, where the girl says, "Let's get out of here." Then they fucking lie to you because you don't get out of there. You do all this because apparently 5 minutes after that ending, he has like all his body parts gone except his head. And it's all in your mind. And then we sent this signal out, which there was only a goddamn signal because the Asian girl left. So she is the message. And then you fucking die. Which you didn't deserve to die. So fuck that shit. Sorry the people have spoiled it as a DLC and pissed me off.
Well, I'm never gonna get the DLC. Thanks for the heads up. Because I didn't know that's what happened. Damn.
Because you can't have people live, apparently. They can't have people win. You can't win in the end. God forbid. Yeah, Glenn Schofield. Yeah, he worked on Dead Space, and he fucked up Dead Space 3 so much, and it killed that fucking franchise, so they had to reboot it. Hey, Vex, hope you're doing well. I don't know which games have replicated the PS1 style, so I can't answer you. And GTA, I haven't played one since 3, so I can't answer that.
Yeah, I remember playing the first one and not even knowing what it was when I first put it in. It was so my cousin, she had just had a kid, and like her guy like moved in with her, and he was a huge gamer. So I would always go over and play PlayStation and Nintendo 64 with him. And he got pretty much everything that was released. I mean, any game that came out, he bought it. It didn't matter what it was. And so I think I was on like winter break and playing everything. Like he had one of those, it's like a CD rack, because you remember the PS1 games are in like CD cases. So he had a ton of those, and I'm just going through all of them and playing, yep, there you go. So I pull out Grand Theft Auto 1, and like I said at the time, nobody knew what it was really, except for like huge collectors. Like if you just bought everything. So I play that and I was hooked because I couldn't believe that something like that would be that fun. Of course, the top down view didn't bother me at the time because that's all that there was. So I just got used to it right away. I know some people say they've tried to go back and play the original ones, like the first two, I think, and they can't do it. But for me, I could go back and play them because I just grew up with them like that. And oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, three was that was a shock for me. I did not expect it to be that cool. Um, it being 3 dimensional added a whole new layer of chaos that you could get into, and it went past the whole just do missions, gain respect thing that you had in the first two games. And it just shit. I can't believe where it is now. I mean, it's the most six is the most expensive game ever made, the biggest budget. I think it's in the billions. Uh, it's
Really?
yeah, and
Billion.
they're
Jesus.
gonna make it back. Like that's there's no way they won't. That game's gonna be the biggest selling game of all time. I mean, the five is
I know
still
I'm
making
dumb.
money.
I know I'm done, but how does a game cost billions to make? Man, I'm just too dumb to. I can't
Well,
fathom that.
I would imagine the technology, all the stuff that they're using, all of the time and effort. I mean, the game's been in production for. Then they're probably still working on final touches and stuff. 10 years of production. So imagine all the time and money, like building a game like that. That's got to take again billions. It's crazy. Yeah, there you go. 2 billion. Yeah.
That's
So,
for one video game.
mhm. But that's I mean, when you look at the money that 5 has made and it's still making, that's nothing in comparison. That's such a
How much do they
minuscule
make?
amount. So right now 5 is probably somewhere in the billion. You know what? Let me look it up. I'm going to check. I know it's really high. It's up there because the online portion was like they were testing the waters with the online in part 4. And I knew with that one there wasn't a lot that could take place just because of the limitations of the technology at the time. And hold on, I'm looking at 5 right now. Um,
Yeah, it could be a money laundering scheme. Yeah, that
revenue
sounds
to
more
date,
legit to me.
it's close to 8 billion. Yeah,
That
8 bill.
made?
Yeah, 8 billion. But I'm sure with now I stopped playing the online portion of 5 years and years ago. So I don't know if they do microtransactions. I would imagine that they do because that's a big source of never-ending revenue for a lot of these companies. And like it's just it's a money pit. It's a never-ending thing that will continue to make money. I love what they did with 5. I I wasn't as impressed with the GTA 4 online as
Hmm.
um as I was with 5, but like I said, that was limitations. And also because with the online for the previous PC games, you had the online, but it was a mod. So they created a mod for GTA 4 to play online, and it was called Multi Theft Auto. I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever played that or have ever heard of it, but it was a thing for online for Vice City, and it was called Multi Theft Auto. And you could jump in and you could play, but you could have your mods in it. Now I don't know about 5, but I know for 4 you couldn't do that. They wouldn't let you online with mods. And I think the early days of 5, I don't think you could get online with mods. Maybe you could do that now. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played online with 5 in a long time. But yeah, with Vice City, you could put anything and everything. So you'd have somebody driving in the Batmobile, another guy's on the Akira bike. Somebody could play as Superman, fly in, do whatever. Like it was chaos when you would go into these server rooms. I don't know how they put that up. I guess some sort of private server. But it worked well and it was super fun. And I played that all the time. So when they came out with the online for 4, I'm like, this is not impressive at all. Like, it's okay. I like that I can finally play with people that I know because at the time nobody played PC games. I grew up with PC. So I've always had that and I've always
Hmm.
had consoles as well, like side by side. As I said, I was a spoiled kid. But it really had an ahead of its time feel to it for sure.
Now, did that have microtransactions, the GTA stuff, like the online stuff,
5.
or any of them that you played?
I don't think
Did it have
4
any
did. I'm
microtransactions?
sure 5
Okay.
has it. It has to. Like there's
Mhm.
no way 5 doesn't have it. At the time when like it first started, I don't think it was there, but I'm sure because they've done so many like packages and done cars and all that stuff. Like I'm sure it has some. Oh, there Vex just said it. There you go. Microtransactions out the ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet.
that's what I was asking.
I bet it does. Like I can believe it. It would be foolish if they didn't though. I mean, that a game that popular, people are going to pay anything just to get more content out of that game to keep it going. And for me, years and years, I would always mod my games. That's what kept me going. I would never play the online for 4 that much. Like I said, I just didn't like it that much. I just thought it was just okay.
Here's the thing,
Um,
though. Just have the no one buy it then. Like no one buy the transactions then, unless they're going to penalize everybody if they don't buy the microtransactions. But I think they put that in it because there are people that will fucking spend
mhm.
their paycheck just doing everything. So there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna happen again for 6. I just know it. Maybe not right away, but you better believe that's why Rockstar is not really focusing on putting anything else out. They don't need to. When you have a
Mm.
money machine just spitting out money, why do you need to like start on the next game? Your company's funded from within already from the last game that you put out. I know Red Dead came after, but you know, that's
Someone was mentioning that they heard that they might tone down GTA 6. That it's going to be toned down because they don't want to offend people. And it's
um
like it's about you can shoot people, you can kill people, you can steal the car, just don't make them feel bad. That I never understood that. We could blow your brains out. Just don't let make me feel let you feel bad. I could
yeah,
punch you in the face. Just don't hurt my feelings. I'd rather you hurt my feelings than punch me or shoot me. I'll take a bad word over being shot. Would you?
yeah. No, yeah, of course. So with that, like I had heard rumblings of them changing things um to not be as offensive, but I think that's going to be more so on the side of there's a lot of I guess you'll call it raunchy comedy to a degree. Um but it's all tongue in cheek. I mean, it's never I mean, I'm not easily offended anyway, so I don't care what they say or what they put in it. But most people nowadays, there probably would be the kickback. But given again how much that game's gonna make, who gives a fuck? Nobody's gonna ban your video game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna put anything in it to make it have an adult only rating. It's going to meet the quota of being a mature game. And I mean, they got burned with that before with San Andreas with the whole hot coffee thing, which wasn't put in.
What was the coffee? I
So
didn't hear.
in San Andreas, there was a part of the game where you could fuck your girlfriend, but you could
Yeah.
switch different like positions and different things, and it was all graphic. Um, so that like they said they removed it completely, but I guess some of the files were still in, and it was called the hot coffee mod, where
Mm.
they said that I think Rockstar's position was that the mod put that stuff in, but what it did was just unlock what was already there. I think that was the story. But
Mm.
yeah, it was in the game, but you couldn't access it. But people breaking down the game and modding it and going through files, of course they're going to find this. So they're like, oh, I guess I'll make this an active part of the game. I don't know if you could do that on the PlayStation version though. Somebody could let me know. You possibly could have. I know it caused a big stir though at the time.
You said San Andreas?
Yeah.
So if everyone has San Andreas for PS2, let us know how many set positions you'd have. So everyone says maybe you need a Game Shark. Maybe. That was pretty much the Game Genie of PlayStation. Maybe Game Shark.
I think there was again, this is years and years ago. I think there was a code for it. I had heard something about a code, but I never tried it. I mostly had that on PC. I think I did have Vice City. I bought all those games more than once anyway, because I initially got them on console, then I got them on PC later. So I've given Rockstar a lot of money over the years. A lot more money than they should have gotten from me. Okay. So you can't access it anymore unless you mod it. That sounds right.
Yeah, but I mean, what about on like PS2? Because I don't know how they can't. I mean, if they can't really stop on PS2 if you have like, if it's a code or Game Shark, or if you buy an old copy on PS2.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you, Blast Radius. I love Manhunt 1 and 2. Part 3 will probably never happen. I want it as well, but I don't think it'll happen. I don't think they care. That's the thing. It's not so much about the negative publicity that they got back then from it. I don't think they give a fuck. I mean, look at how slow they are with other titles. Their focus is GTA. That's what they care about. They don't, they'll get to other stuff when they get to it. That's just how they are.
I never played Manhunt. People talked to me about it. Because anytime I saw it, it just seemed like you're just going around and you stealth kill people. Was there like a big story and other stuff to it, or
no? So you play a character that's out of prison, and you are being recorded.
Game show, right? Yeah, recorded.
Sort of, yeah.
That game show.
It's meant to be like part slasher, part snuff, and part stealth. Now, you don't have to stealth kill people. You don't have to. You could just beat people to death with various weapons. I think mid point in the game, towards the end, you get a gun. I think there's a nail gun as well. You get other weapons. Like, you don't have to use crowbars and stuff like that. And people might think I'm crazy for saying this, but there is something about grabbing random things and killing people with it that's just fun. That sounds so wrong. But I love getting a plastic bag and putting it on a guy's head and suffocating him to death.
So kind of like a Hitman video game.
Kind of. But this was a lot more brutal.
Right.
And the graphic nature of it was definitely pushing the envelope. I mean, when you can take like a scythe to a guy's nuts and like rip them off, that's like, I could see why it is like in its best form. I love Manhunt so much. That's another game I've modded though. I've taken out, I think the main character's name is Cash. I put in Jason Voorhees, which makes so much sense. And you can add certain other little things to it. But
can you mod a hockey mask on him or something?
Yeah, that's what it does. It makes the main character Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you may have just changed his name.
No, you changed the character model completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Jason Voorhees is the good guy in that one now. Yeah. There you go. Bobby's asking, Stuntman, have you ever played War of the Monsters or Army Men video games?
I have not.
Those are two franchises. Yeah, the Warriors, PS2. I remember hearing about that game. Yeah.
Wait, did you say the Warriors?
No, Bobby was asking War of the Monsters and
Okay.
Army Men. I know
Okay.
you said no. And then another guy mentioned the Warriors video game. I do
Hmm.
remember that.
Yes, I love the Warriors game. I haven't played it in a long time, but I love it. It's really really fun. The not co-op, the multiplayer aspect where you can pick your gang and you fight on the rooftop and then you can throw guys off the rooftop and stuff. It's a fun game still. I love that. Probably one of the best video game movie adaptations ever.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
you play both Manhunt? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you got to get Manhunt though. Like you, I think you'll
A lot of
like it.
people tell me that.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to get bored by it just because you want to see how far you can go with it. Um, and you have, I think it's 3 different stealth kills you can perform. But like I said, you don't necessarily, if you want a real challenge, you can just play it up front and out in the open and not stealth kill people. But a lot of the fun comes from the stealth killing. And
Hmm.
once you
So is
do, go
is
ahead.
the Scythe to the Nuts a stealth kill?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
you have different degrees of how brutal the kill can be. You can do it in
But let's be honest.
yeah.
How stealthy would it really be to scythe someone in the nuts? They'd be screaming a lot. I don't know if they're too stealthy. They'd be screaming higher than Taylor
Well,
Swift having sex.
part of part now I haven't played it in a while. So like part of the kills like they would be two-parters. So like when you
Hmm.
put the plastic bag on the guy's face, he could probably still make some noise. But like you do
Yeah,
some punching and some kicking while the bag's on his face. So there's degrees
right.
levels of so there's like the first level, which is the easiest one. The second one is medium, and then the third one's like the most brutal kill that you can do. And once you're behind the person, you have a certain amount of time. I think you press whatever the button is to pull off the kill, but you hold it. So you have to stay behind them and stay stealth without making any noise and without them turning around so that you can perform the kill, um, be it the most
Hmm.
basic or the most brutal. And like I would always go for all three. So depending on what weapon you have, it'll be 3 different kills for each weapon. So you get the plastic bag,
Gotcha.
it could be a glass shard, um, whatever you find, you can just kill somebody with. And so, like I said, they get more and more brutal as you go. And I think in the second game they introduced environmental kills, so things
Hmm.
around you you can, I guess, manipulate and then have them kill the person as well. So it's really fun, man. For horror fans, it's like a must play because there's almost no game that I can think of where it has a true stalk and slash element like that. That's just about the brutality of the kill. Like that's pretty much the point. Um,
Hmm.
you're doing it for this guy, and like I think you'll earn your freedom at the end, something like that. And you just work your way through it, and you just keep killing more and more people. But then they have various gangs that are also hunting you to try to kill you. So it's kind of like kill or be killed as well.
Hmm. So it doesn't get repetitive because of all the different weapons, as you're saying?
No. And because you keep changing environments, you never stay in the same spot. You just make your way
Hmm.
through all these different maps and you just keep going. And I think another thing that helps keep it fun too is like changing the weapons. Because you keep getting so
Hmm.
many different ones, you get different kills all the time. So
Hmm.
it's and then
Okay.
I think a lot of it too comes from the challenge is more so in I think the amount of gang members that surround you at any given time, and trying to stay
Gotcha.
stealthy without because now if you do alert like 5 guys and they've all got guns, you might be fucked. Like there's no way to like I mean you can run and hide and find like a shady spot to hide in, but it'll be difficult to get away. So there is a challenge to it. It's not super easy. It is in the beginning, but it gets harder as you go, like most games.
Yeah. Cool. So you say like the first one more than the second?
Yeah, the second one, they do introduce the environmental stuff, but it something about it isn't quite as fun. I don't know what it is, but I still enjoy it. Um, I think maybe the first one just has even more of a darker tone, but yeah, two's cool. Like I like it. It's if you do get it, try to find the adult only version of the game because the kills are censored in the mature version. Yeah.
Is that all on PS2? Because that'd be the only way I'd play it.
That's a good question.
It's hard for me to play games on PC. The laptops doesn't run games the best. So,
Well, that game doesn't require a lot of power, so you might be
mhm.
able to run it. Um, this is such an
I'm just
old
not
game.
good. I'm just good using the keyboard and stuff for
If you have a
that stuff.
controller, plug that in. It should be able to
Okay.
be compatible with the controller because I play them with a controller.
Oh, okay then. Cool.
Yeah, when it comes to games like that, I usually use a controller.
Cool.
But pretty much any other, if it's like a shooter or something like that, I use mouse and keyboard. But I know it can be difficult for some, but like I said, I grew up with it, so it's nothing to me. It's just second nature.
Hmm. And the people in the chat, nope, I've never played a Mafia game. Nope, never played that. Never played Red Dead. And what was the other one someone mentioned? Never played, forget what the other game someone mentioned. Phantasy Star Universe, never played. Mafia, never played any of them. Dead by Daylight, I never played.
I played that a little bit.
Manhunt 2, Manhunt 2 is on the Wii. Wow. That has to be edited.
It's got to be. I can't imagine that not being censored.
Thank you, Gemroll. Thank you for the kind words. No problem, man. Half-Life 3 will never happen. I mean, it's been this long.
I've been waiting for that
That's
game
it.
for like 20 years, dude. That game's never
That will never
happening.
happen. After, if it hasn't been this long, the kills are censored. I figured with the Wii, yeah. I mean, yeah, they had Resident Evil 4 on there, granted, but I figured that type of game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like even I have the Punisher, I think, for PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember if that was censored or was it
Um,
another one?
no, at least mine wasn't. I do have that one as
Okay,
well.
maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I know one of the versions of Punisher is censored. I forget which one. Can't remember what system it was on. The one with Thomas Jane.
Is that the one where you have like all the kills that you can do?
Interrogations, executions.
Yeah. That one's not censored. Well,
Okay, for some reason,
to be fair, I have it
there's
on
something.
PC, so I don't know if that one is.
Thank you, Anthony.
Oh, that's why. Okay, that explains it. Like because like
That's
I
why.
know like I've seen him do some really crazy shit in the game when I play it and black and
Yep,
white. Oh
that was on my
wow,
PS2.
damn! I
So
didn't know that. Huh?
that's what bothered me about it. It's not a bad game at all. It just that did bother me. It's the Punisher, for fuck's sake. You don't want that shit. To remember some
Mhm.
of these things, I mean, why am I being confused with what the hell's happening? That's why. I'm like, I know what he's supposed to be doing, but I'm confused.
Mhm.
No wonder. Thank you, Anthony, for letting me know.
That's
God damn it.
crazy.
It's PlayStation 2. Like all the other fucking games I have on it.
Yeah.
Wasn't Manhunt PlayStation 2
Yeah.
on it? Like
Mhm.
so but
Well, I
Punisher
mean,
gets censored.
all that controversy got stirred up by that fucking dumbass kid who like killed his friend or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I learned it from Manhunt." That's all they needed to like go after Rockstar even further. Never mind like the GTA stuff. Like, so they were just taking a beating from media outlets and probably like politicians and all that stuff.
Fuck those guys. There's more fucking bloodshed and politics than, let's be honest. They killed more people than a lot of fucking people. Not to get too much into it, but let's be honest, politics have killed more people than a lot of that shit. We all agree with that.
Yeah.
Nope, General, I have not seen the John Woo film. I know it bombed, completely bombed in theaters.
Oh wow, has it?
Yeah, it
Holy
debuted like at
shit.
number 6.
Oh man, that sucks. I was hoping like maybe he'll get a newfound interest in doing more American cinema, but this is probably like fuck this. I'm going back to Hong Kong or wherever. Like, damn, that's sad to hear.
Actually, well, no, it debuted like at number 9.
Damn.
Only made like 3 million. Jesus Christ.
What was the budget?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah, the Last Radius, they'll never put out Half-Life 3 or any of those. I mean, if you want Half-Life 3, the closest you'll get is I think it's called Alex, Half-Life Alex, the virtual reality one. That's another game I have, but I haven't played it yet. I have the VR headset, I have all that stuff. I just haven't played it yet. Like, I have an infinite, never-ending list of games that I'll never probably play. I'm just playing so much and my interests change, and then I switch to this and that, and then I have a bad habit of not finishing certain games, and then I jump over to the new thing, and I'm back and forth and all over the place.
And it says here about $20 million budget is what it says here.
Ooh.
So
that was Lionsgate, right?
I have to look it up again. Yep, Lionsgate.
Oh, well, they're fine. They got all that John Wick 4 money. They're fine. They can stand to lose a little bit.
Let's see, looking at the chat. Oh yeah, Half-Life 3, yeah. You know what, Tuesday? I still haven't played the second one. I played just the first one, which I do enjoy. Just never got around to playing the second one.
Same. I have it right here installed on the PC. Haven't touched it yet. I have Half-Life 3 as well. I can't wait to play it in VR. I know it's going to be awesome, but I just haven't touched it.
Wait, you said you have Half-Life 3? What?
I mean, Hitman 3. Did I say Half-Life 3? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
You have Half-Life 3.
Got Half-Life on the brain now.
Hitman 3, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I have a few games here I want to replay sometime when I get free time. But though over here, I ordered people told me God of War, the PS3 collection. That has 1 and 2 on it. So I did order that. That should be coming in the mail. We'll see if it gets here in a month with the Christmas season. Everything being delayed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a lot of PS2 games here. Silent Hill 2, Cold Fear, Area 51, Max Payne, etc.
Yeah,
Hellboy 3.
Love me some Remedy.
Yeah, go ahead. Half-Life Remake is pretty good. I didn't know there was a remake. Black Mesa. Didn't know that was a remake. Freedom Fighters, never played that game.
That was fun. I did play that on PC. So my uncle was really big into that stuff, just getting everything. And his job kind of afforded him to do that. So he would just give me. I still have games on PC that he gave me because he gave me so many. I never even played from 10, 15 years ago. So many games that I have, and I just never got around to them. That's the so for somebody like me that works a lot constantly, like it's really hard to get to games, especially games nowadays, like where a lot of the newer games are. That's true. Yeah. Pretty much that's an accurate description. I didn't think about it that way.
The Sea Town Solid drink blood in that game.
No.
Wolverines. No Sea Town Solid drinking blood.
No.
Deer blood. McMahon.
But dude, yeah, games are so fucking long now. I hate the 60-hour game. Yeah. I hate that. I have other stuff I want to do, and they're just too long.
What was a game you played that felt the longest? I'm not saying it was the longest, but you kind of played and went, will this ever end? Was there a game that made you feel that way? Doesn't mean you hated it, but just maybe you felt that way.
Red Dead. The last Red Dead. Love the game. Love the game. But there's so much to do. It was just, it took forever. And maybe a lot of it is because of, I know you can somewhat fast travel in a way, but a lot of the stuff going by horse, and I like the pace. I like the Western feel. It's a fantastic game, but damn that shit. It's like, I probably still have stuff in it that I haven't done. Like that I never finished. So it's a long ass game.
Are there hookers in that too? Brothels?
From what I remember, I think there was.
Okay, that's realistic.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were modding that like crazy.
I bet, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
You can say it. I don't care.
No. It's just, there's some inappropriate mods for that game. And
inappropriate what way?
I don't want to say it.
No, it's just, like, I'm curious. Sex?
No. Okay, so you ride horses and like
horses ride you?
No, God, no. So you can change your character model in pretty much any of these games, and with it they make stuff like one really cool one that I saw was Django. He could be Django from Tarantino's movie, and that was a really fun one. I liked using that. You can get weapons, stuff like that. But
was someone modded look like a Nazi?
Close. They were a KKK member. And so you can tie up people and drag them with a horse. And my friend would do that to black people in the game. He's black though, so don't anybody freak out. But he found it hilarious. And I'm like, dude, that's so wrong. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But he entertained himself that way by doing crazy shit like that. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that if anybody's interested in playing the game that way. Yeah.
I wonder what made him think of that idea.
When we joke around, like, we say a lot of stuff that probably wouldn't be seen in a positive light towards most people anyway. So it's just it's just our humor. I don't know. I mean, I laughed when he was doing it.
So he's black, and he wanted to play a Ku Klux Klan member.
And like I said, that's in the game where you can like tie up people to the horse and drag them, and he would do that. And
He was like the sheriff in the one scene Blazing Saddles. Let me pull this thing right out. Red Dead Redemption. It'd be 2? Was it 2?
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the new DLC for the Christmas season. White Christmas.
I think they took that mod down though. I haven't seen that that model though up anymore. So they might have taken it down. I
But
don't
it's the
remember the
internet.
name of
I'm sure.
it.
Sure
Could be out there
it.
somewhere. Yeah, maybe. But when I saw it up, I was like, I wonder what people are gonna think of that. But this was years ago. So I'm sure it's not there. You might be able to find it. Who knows? I don't know.
If you want a white Christmas and you want to wear a white robe, have a white Christmas in the West.
Yeah, there were some cool character models up. I mean, Clint Eastwood, all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, anything you can think of, they had it up there to play with.
Wouldn't it be? You pretty much. I mean, with PC, seems like mods can pretty much do anything with almost any game. It seems like so.
Yeah, they extend the life of video games for me, especially any of my absolute favorites. Because I think as a kid, we all had that idea of like, well, what could I do? Or wouldn't it be cool if I could do this? Wouldn't it be cool if they had that? And now with mods, you can add anything you want. Like, you think it up, somebody's probably done it. Just Google it and you'll find it on any one of these modding sites. And so I had to break away from that though. Like I got stuck in that rut of just modding games. But I would always do it. I would make a deal with myself. I'm only going to mod it after I beat it. So I would beat it and then I'd mod it just because I know I'd never finish it or it'd make the game too easy. Like playing GTA as Iron Man, there's literally no challenge. You can fly, you fuck people up in the craziest ways, or playing it as Superman or playing as Venom or the Predator or whatever it is. It's just too easy. So I would say that's it's fun though.
Gotcha.
Really fun.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, I never played Mafia 3, but that's cool that you like it. Never played any of them.
I think I played the first one briefly, but never went back to it.
So what was your all-time favorite mod of any game if you played so much? Guessing not the K1.
Well, I never got that one. Like it's geez, that's really hard. It would be a GTA mod for sure because that's the game that I modded the most. There are really cool, like fun ones that like adding what is it? It's like so have you ever played any of the Just Cause games?
I know what they are. I haven't played them, but I've seen people play them. Like you parachute, get on the trucks and
yeah, they added like a little thing because there's a huge amount of terrain and they added a thing where you can not just have the wingsuit, you make it so that it's like a jetpack so you can just fly. But again, that's such a small thing, but it was really fun to play with. It would probably be something from GTA. Like everything else is just small things. I mean, I never go full on. Oh, you know what? I take that back. Okay, so as much fun as I have with GTA, like I play a lot of the total conversion mods on Max Payne. And total conversion mods basically they use the foundation of the game and then it completely changes it into something else.
Okay.
So they have one for the Crow, Blade, there's one this guy made called Katana, and it was supposed to be like an anime version of it, of a video game, and you have all these different abilities, but you still have the bullet time and stuff. And they would create new
Hmm.
animations. Probably there's a million Matrix mods for Max Payne.
Mm.
There were some really cool ones that were total conversion. Not all of them are, but there's some that are really cool. Then they've put every sequence from all the Matrix games. So you have the chateau fight sequence. You have that. You have the shootout from the end of the first one. They would add all these levels, and it looks 100%
So
authentic.
for the transitions, would they just use movie clips? Would they have just cutscenes from Max Payne play in there? Like, how would you
They would make
transition from one
they
to
would
the
make all the stuff themselves. So for that specific Matrix mod, it was like a team of people designing it and developing it for a long time.
Hmm.
And it was just a group of friends that were like obsessed with Max Payne, and they loved the Matrix. So they were like, well, all the movies have come out. Let's do a total conversion. Um, and they did that. And you play as Neo. They would incorporate all the animations from the movie, all his abilities. Um, and I would say those are probably my favorite things because there's never been in my opinion, the Matrix games were never really what they should have been. They were very much mediocre gunplay games. They didn't have the stability. It didn't seem like they put the money in that should have been put in for a franchise that big. And they were just mediocre. I guess the best way I can describe them. I don't know if you've ever played any of them, but
I thought Path and Neo was interesting. I just thought
yeah,
there were too many. At the beginning, there was too many those levels where let's teach you this,
yeah,
teach
agreed.
you that. There was like 7 of them. It felt like or something.
Yeah, I
Because
did like.
you had the one that was like stealth, but you were like looked like Ryu from Street Fighter. Then there was like the sword thing where it was like was everything like black and white or something? One of them,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah, there's like I like the idea of just a bit too many of them to
Yeah, the
get to the game.
Wachowskis, like, came in, put their own spin on it, wrote a bunch of stuff. I think they might have written the entire game, but they filled in the gaps from all the stuff that you didn't see in the movie. Those are probably the
Mhm.
more interesting parts of the game for me. But overall,
Yeah.
the graphically, it was horrible. Um,
Mm.
I thought the animations were a little half-assed. You couldn't really fly as Neo, and I'm like, that's one of the main things people are going to want to do. It should have been a full-on open world game. It didn't have that. It just too much of it was not enough. Like it is very, very
Mm.
disappointing. Um, but it is interesting parts of it. It's much better than Enter the Matrix, I'll say, because nobody gave a shit about those characters. Who cares about playing as
You
Jada
don't
Pinkett or the
you don't
the
want to pay or play as Jada Pink Slip.
no, don't give
You
a
don't want to
shit.
be smacked each time you play. Terry
No.
gets smacked in the face, or you get smacked in the face by your PlayStation each time you touch her and her fucking bald head.
God.
See it, G.I. Joe 2. That's the new mod for Enter the Matrix. G.I. Joe 2.
They actually had mods for Enter the Matrix, but they weren't they might have been limited by the engine of it. They just weren't that good. They were most of them were character models. And I
Mhm.
thought that they were going to push that a little further at the time, but they never did. Like you remember the twin characters from Matrix Reloaded? Yeah. So that you could play as those guys, but you didn't have their abilities. And I was like, "Oh man, like that's what I want to do. I want to walk through walls and I want to get shot at and not get hit." And
It was funny. I had
yeah.
Enter the Matrix for PS2. I tried to play it, and my PS2 would not make it work. So the game was so shitty. My PlayStation 2 would not play it. It refused. It played any of the other games I have here. That's the one game I think Jada Pink Slip infected my PS2 where they noticed it was so shitty. It said shit. The AI. So I threw the game away. And from what I've heard, that's what apparently where it belongs in the trash. Is that
Yeah.
secret?
I
So
mean, the
instead, our
multiplayer was cool. I thought the multiplayer was kind of cool. There was a multiplayer mode in it. Um, I did have some fun with that. I had more fun with that than the actual game, just because I didn't care about the story that much. Um,
Hmm.
and some of the shootouts were kind of cool in the game, but mostly overall,
Hmm.
I'd rather play Path of Neo. And then when I play that, I'm like, well, why do I even need to play this? I'd rather just play the conversion of it for Max Payne. It's much funner. So yeah, those are all awesome games, and so it'd be between Max Payne stuff and GTA stuff for me when it comes to mods, because that's what I love about GTA. It's just a huge sandbox, and you can do whatever you want. And so with that being said, you can make it pretty much any, because I'm such a movie guy, I can make it any movie I want. Like I got the John Wick skin, I got all the guns he had in the movie, and then I got his car, and you can get the dog.
Ah,
So so for GTA 5, I had a blast playing with that. Um all the all the Marvel stuff is always fun because you have all the abilities and you can switch to
hmm.
whatever character you want. Um I remember the guy that initially made like Stark Tower and put it in GTA 4. They
Hmm.
brought it over to 5 and upgraded it and put that in. I mean, you can play as Batman and be Bruce Wayne at the same time, and you get all the grappling hook and all that stuff, and you have the Batcave and Wayne Manor and every Batmobile from every movie and every Batsuit. So it's, you run amok, like you can go crazy. But like I said, I had to take myself away from doing that. I'll probably get back into doing that again before 6 comes out, because once 6 drops, I'm probably never going to play 5 again. But
Hmm.
yeah, it just, you can tumble down the rabbit hole with that and get lost in modding for sure. It can become addictive and a kind of a bad thing, because then you don't play anything new. You're just playing the same games over and over.
So you ever play like I know a bit things Resident Evil mods. There's a lot of them out there. You ever play any of that stuff?
Yeah, I did a few. Um, Not nearly as many as like I did for Grand Theft Auto or Max Payne.
Hmm.
The Resident Evil ones were very uh, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool ideas, but I never jumped in as deep as I could have gone. But
Hmm.
there's some really cool stuff. Um, yeah, I
What
mean, go
What
ahead.
if Resident Evil 3? What if Jill was a Ku Klux Klan member? Was chasing after the Nemesis because he's black, so he's got to go after the Nemesis.
They're not going to
The
let that
main
fly.
Nemesis.
Like, I'm surprised that that wasn't taken down sooner when they had that up for Red Dead.
For all the reviews Resident Evil 3 remake got, it probably would have got more no's if it was Jill the Ku Klux Klan member
Yeah.
outfit chasing after the kid with all the with all the hate that game got. I still haven't played the game. I have the game, I just haven't had time to play it, but I've only heard, well, not I think Anthony liked it, but I've heard like
Mhm.
nobody else liked that game.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, another
but I haven't
thing
played it.
with the PC games is like you don't just have the mods that are cool, you also have the trainers. And those give you a lot of options as well that you wouldn't normally be able to have with mods, because like with the mods, you change your character model, you can change your vehicle, weapons. That's a lot of aesthetic stuff. Sometimes you,
Mhm.
with those, they'll create storylines and they'll create missions and things for you to do, and that changes all of that. But in, and I don't want to keep talking about GTA because I could talk about it forever. But within that, like using the trainer for that game, it gives you even more options to do. So you have, it's just, when I say it's infinite with the stuff you can do, it's just fucking insane. Like, so for people that don't know what a trainer is, you,
Real quick, like
mhm.
that's what needs to happen for Resident Evil 5 remake. Chris Redfield, Ku Klux Klan member in Africa. chasing all the black people. Because that dude I call racist, at least you on racist? Here you go. Dave Chappelle
that's one of
from
my
the
least
Chappelle
favorite
Show doing the
entries
voice.
is 5. That's one of my least favorite entries.
Because they were killing the black people.
Now, I could give a shit who they killed.
I'm just fucking with it. I know, that was a game. I agree. I wasn't a fan of that game. I agree.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Resident Evil 5. I could never get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that girl you were with because she kept stealing all my fucking ammo. And then she kept getting hurt. I know there are ways you're supposed to, but I don't want to fucking control some bitch. I want to play with myself, by myself.
Somebody needs to clip that.
What
you just said? I don't want to play with some bitch.
Yeah. I don't. I'd rather just by yourself. To me, that's Resident Evil. Like, yeah, at least with 4, I could hide her in a dumpster where she belongs. She belongs in the dumpster. That fucking prick. So at least you do that. She belongs in the dumpster. Stay in the dumpster.
Yeah.
But go ahead, sorry.
No, I mean, 5 was just, it was disappointing coming off 4. I think I wanted more of that and less of what 5 was. I didn't care for the story as much. And then the final boss fight I thought was kind of stupid. The whole thing with all the lava and all that shit. I just...
Yeah, the ending with punching the boulder and then you're where they filmed Star Wars Revenge of the Sith at the end there. It's like Chris Redfield's going to turn and go and see Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting. Lava.
That's interesting. Anthony says that. I don't think I played the co-op though. I did play co-op for 6, and I don't think I got through that. Me and my girlfriend played through 6 in co-op. And I think the only reason I got 6 was for that, like the co-op. She wanted to try the co-op in 6. Yeah, it was fun for a while until like it got to certain fights and it got really annoying. But yeah. Oh, wait. Getting back to the trainers though.
Yeah.
So yeah, for PC you have things called trainers. It's a program that you open in the background and it basically has a list of, it could be 20 commands or 100, 400, 500, whatever. So you can control different aspects of things in the game that you couldn't normally control. Now, if anybody's played GTA 4 or 5, you can't really control the car that much. And this is just one example. So with this, you could set it so that you could use a seatbelt so if you crash, you don't go through the windshield. Or you could open the trunk if you want, or open all the doors, open the hood, which you can't do in the game. And then you could control, another example, you could control NPCs. You could have them, you could spawn them. And so I'd spawn like 50 of them. They'd all have machine guns. And then I'd fight the cops with 50 guys with NPCs. And then they follow your lead. So they do whatever you do. So I steal a bus or a plane, or I just get in a car and then they'd all get in cars. I'd spawn like 25 cars. They all get in. And then we'd all be on the airport runway being chased by hundreds of cops, because again, you can just keep multiplying everything and spawning anything that you want. So you could go crazy with all the stuff you can do. Like it as big as your imagination is, the trainer, the mods and all that stuff, it can take you to an infinity and you can do anything. And it's kind of cool for making like little mini movies in there, which I did do. I made one for Watchmen. I did one for Batman. And there was another one that I did back in the day. I can't even remember. This was so long ago. But yeah, it had a cool recording option where you could record stuff and then like cut it together and edit it and make your own little mini GTA movie. It was fun.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Do you play the? Then you play the co-op on file. You'll like it more. Merchant system and I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't want to play any co-op for Resident Evil. That's not for me. What Resident Evil is like you will be in the middle of a shit situation, escape from this horror situation, not worry about some other asshole. And Resident Evil 5, I did everything and went backward. Like I only have 9 slots, which was so shit compared to the suitcase. Chever kept stealing all your shit, and you have to worry about her, and you want her to get the fuck out of your face.
Yeah, it had the unfortunate.
Felt like the bullets just bounced back. It felt like they didn't. Like Resident Evil 4 felt like they reacted more. 5 is like, oh, I'm hitting a brick wall, and then now they're dead. I hated that shit.
Yeah, I would like to play 5 co-op again, but I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. Maybe one of these days I might try it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure if you play with a competent player, you don't have to worry. But I don't. With me and Resident Evil, like those survival horror, to me, it feels more like a solitary experience in a way that I prefer. Like when I play Silent Hill, and especially when the character's by themselves, it makes the situation feel more intense, whether action or horror. When there's someone right by you that's helping you or something, just not my cup of tea when it comes to those type of games. That's just me, though. Hey, Jared, yeah, we finished the commentary about a while ago.
Yeah.
We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, if you have a competent player, that always helps. And she was a gamer, so I didn't have to do anything. Just play my part. She played her part. So.
Yeah, they tried to do that stuff in Dead Space 3. That was another stupid thing with that game. Of the 100 stupid things of that game. Hated that game too. Fuck Dead Space 3. It's a piece of shit. I like the first 2, but that game was a piece of shit.
Yeah, the first one is that's where it's at. Like that one was a nice surprise because I didn't expect it to be what it was. But yeah, I enjoy that one. That's still the best in my opinion.
My favorite's the second Dead Space 2. That's my favorite. I love the more. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a remaster for the second one?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
And they're only on PS3. They never put on PS4 for some stupid reason. And Dead Space 2, maybe because yeah, go ahead.
No, I just remember, like, I know they did one for the first one.
For what system? Or was it PC?
Oh, PC. Just PC.
Oh.
Well, so maybe you know what? See, that's the thing. It could be on console. I don't know. I usually when I look for stuff, I'm like, is this on PC? Or I just check Steam or I guess other games. Like everybody's got a fucking online digital store now. Like Rockstar has one. There's Epic Games. There's Blizzard, but yeah, I just check for that. Like if it's on PC, I'll get it. But yeah, it could
for
be
me.
On console.
I'm more consoles. I'm much more consoles. I mean, I gotta find our console.
I'm gonna
Dead Space 2 was more for me. I like the first one though, but Dead Space 2 I think is my favorite.
Yeah, if they remaster 2, I'll definitely go back. Like I'm interested. But I remember 3 not being great.
No. It's like first 20 minutes is like you're fighting these lame human bad guys, and then Ellie is like a bitch now. and the plot's more predictable, and all of a sudden there's these fucking alien things. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? And the moons are alive, and the moons are attack Earth. What the fuck is this? The moons are alive, and the moons are going to attack Earth, and then you play the DLC, and they are attacking Earth, and then you leave on a big cliffhanger, and then you never solve it or finish it. Great. Congrats. Fucking guy.
Now, when it comes to
name Schofield?
Schofield,
fuck it. Fuck that guy. But what you want to say?
When it comes to PC, was that more of a I'm comfortable on console thing? I don't see the need to go to it.
I grew up with it.
Okay.
I just grew up with it more. Back from Atari to Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, then PlayStation 3, now PlayStation 4. I'm just more comfortable with looking at the TV, having the console specifically just for that and that alone. Sitting with the controller I'm used to. I just much more comfortable with that. Just seems easier for me to deal with. So I'm just what I prefer more.
Gotcha.
I played a few PC games back in the day, but that was back then when you had to use the keyboard, and I think I played Serious Sam, Half-Life. I tried to play that first Blair Witch game, the Rust and Parr one.
Is that the one? Did they only do one Blair Witch game?
No, there were 3. There was a Rust and Parr, and there was 2 others. And that they were kind of like Alone in the Dark, those old games that were on kind of that style. I could never get that far on it.
I only have one of them. I have years ago they put out a box set for Blair Witch 1 and 2, and then they put the video game in there. And whatever that game is, I never even played it, but whatever the game that no, like I don't even know which one it is. So maybe somebody in the chat knows, but
just wasn't interested, or
no, not that. I definitely play it. I just didn't get a. That's my excuse for everything. Like if there's something that came out and it's actually decent or fun or whatever, I didn't get to it because interests were elsewhere. I just didn't get around to it. That's always my excuse.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at what the others are, because there's Blair Witch Volume 1, which was Rust and Parr. Then there was Volume 2, which was The Legend of Coffin Rock. And then Volume 3, which was the Ellie Kitward tale, which was all in different years. Each showcase a different era of the Blair Witch legend. Yeah, around 2000, 2001, these were coming out on PC, so it was those 3.
Okay.
And the new one seems shitty. Of course, the other one's doing Silent Hill remake. Silent Hill 2 remake.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to those games, those were always fun back in the day. I played a lot of those, the Silent Hill games. It's always fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love these. I love them.
Yeah, that's another one where it's a total conversion mod for Max Payne 1, I think. It's a Silent Hill total mod conversion, so it completely changes the maps and the dialogue and the character models, and everything in it is made to be Silent Hill. One, like if I could, yeah, I wish I could screen share it. One of these days we should do like a gaming live stream thing, but I think I'd have to be streaming live as well with you, like on my channel, for like to make it work, because I can't share my screen. But I know you can share yours, but I can't share mine. But
I don't know how to do any of that, but I would gladly be on yours.
Yeah, well, we can do a double stream. I think it would be better if we do it that way.
I don't know how to do that.
No, I'll work out. We'll figure it out. We'll work out the kinks for it, and
Cool.
we'll do it one of these days. And
Cool.
then I can share my screen. Then I can show off pretty much anything. I'll probably jump from game to game, and then just
Cool.
show all the stuff I'm talking about because I'm sure people are
Sounds good
interested
to
in
me.
some of these. So yeah, and I don't think it would hurt my my system at all. I'm pretty sure it can handle it.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's like um, right now on like because I have Steam open right here and there's a million games in here that I could just fire up and show. But yeah, well, I'll figure that out one of these days. Um, we'll have to figure out how to make that work. We'll work out the kinks and details. Do a
Sounds
video
good.
game stream for you guys.
I'm down for that.
Nice. Yeah.
But we'll probably end it here. We're going on for about 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
As for what's next, I don't know if Uncle Bill from Dead Pit. I don't know if we are going to be doing something this weekend or not. He hasn't said anything
Mm-hmm.
because I know he mentioned like next week, but I don't know if
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
he said this weekend AMA. So I think I'll message him and see if we're gonna do the AMA. And
Sure.
by the way, he did message me a day or two ago, and he got his OLED TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, he about like jizzed in his pants. He's like, "Oh my god, it looks amazing." I'm like, "I told you, man. Like, you got to get one. Make the investment." And he's super happy with it. So
What was the TV? OLED, you said?
yeah, an
70
OLED
inch?
TV. Yeah, he said 70. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder what he had before.
Good question. I don't know. Probably an LED if I had to guess. More than likely.
Mm.
That's what I had before. I had a 70-inch LED. And the the bulbs in the back or like in the panel were starting to dim. And so it would leave dim spaces in different parts of the screen. Like the color and the pixels and all that. Like everything would still be illuminated. It was just less illuminated in certain sections. It really bugged the shit out of me. And I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm getting an OLED. So I got the OLED.
And Hunter, I don't know if it's 100, what hertz it is. You'd have to ask that Uncle Bill about it. It's his TV. I don't know
I'm pretty sure
what
it's
kind of OLED it
120, probably 120.
is.
I don't now. I could be wrong, but as far as I know right now, I don't think there are any 240 hertz OLED TVs. I think that's only capped right now at 120.
Mm.
Now, anybody in the chat, feel free to correct me, but from all the research that I've ever done, they haven't gotten there yet. So if it's OLED, it's going to be 120.
I trust you. Davian, hi there. Sorry I haven't heard of that game. That's cool. Silver Wings, Jared Dippy, take care. Josh Pritt, take care as well. Jared Griffiths had a problem with LED lights on a TV I own too.
Yeah.
You're not the first one to say that. And what do you have coming up for your stuff?
Well, I was before we came on, I was editing a video and I'm putting the finishing touches on that, and that will be up tonight. Although I think it's after midnight, so but still, it'll be up. And maybe about 30 minutes or so. The 4K videos that I do always take a while to render. So it may take a while to upload. We'll see though.
Maybe one day we'll see video game playthroughs from you. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that. I wanted to do that for RoboCop, but I just didn't. I was like, I'll just get through it whenever and play through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Like, I'm not even sure because I think it's
never, never can do that. Not after midnight.
That's right. Eastern Standard Time or Central? How does that work?
I don't. It's you're supposed to be a euphemism for your dick. Never feed after midnight. Always wait till the morning for that.
That's the joke in the second movie.
Yeah. Eastern, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but I have Streamlabs. That's what I record my videos on when I shoot stuff. So I think you can do screen recording with that. So we will see.
All right. As for me, pretty much got a lot of requests. Thanks to you guys. We'll be uploading those. Just uploading my review on Thanksgiving. I'll be uploading. I beat the game. I just have to upload the parts of Detroit Become Human. That'll be
nice.
about 12 parts. Yeah, random requests, reviews, things of that nature. So that'll be coming in the pipeline. And we will see you guys down the road. Maybe, because I don't know how things work, maybe we'll do something Sunday. Maybe a wrestling one, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But things could always change, so I don't want to promise anything. Because, people schedule and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll definitely do something again sometime. Anthony, if you ever see this or if you're still around, we definitely need to do something. 3 of us. You just talk video games, Resident Evil. Plus, pipe up your fan film, dude. The Resident Evil fan film you got going.
Yeah.
The Red Shoe Diaries or whatever it was. The Keeper's Diary. If I ever get them on, I'm gonna keep calling it Red Shoe Diaries just to fucking mess with them. Dave Duchovny watching zombies fuck. Necromantic 3. I mean, he's almost a zombie with the way he's acting nowadays. Almost. Dave Duchovny, so.
Damn, I want another X-Files game.
You didn't like the PS2 one? Resistor, sir? You watch it?
The gameplay, not necessarily, but the story is kind of cool. I like the voice acting. It's it's nice to have them in there. And all the characters from the show. It's could have been worse. It's better than the first game. I don't know if you played that one.
Yeah, I played it on the channel. The X-Files. I have it for PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I think it's in here. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Ooh, look at that. Nice. That is cool.
I kind of enjoy this for what it is, but I grew with it. It's funny how you play as 2 characters that's not Boulder Scully, and then you never see them again. So I did play that on the channel. I think 4 parts it took me.
Okay.
Because it's a point-and-click game.
Yeah.
Actually, let me make sure real quick if it's still up. So you didn't like that game? I don't blame you.
It's okay, but I like that they did try to adopt the Resident Evil style of gameplay. Because I was always into Resident Evil, so like that worked for me. And then you actually had them doing the voices for the characters, which is what I wanted from the first game. And then you could switch off between playing as Mulder or Scully, which is also something I wanted. So it just hit a lot of marks for me that I thought should have been in the first game. And like I said, you got Nicholas Lee, Mitch Pileggi, the awesome William B. Davis.
So awesome. Yeah, sure.
Just, the whole fucking cast is there pretty much in the game. And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's got a lot of cool bonus content on it too.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I understand why. And for those, I do. Yeah, it is up on my channel. I play like the X Files game, PS1, part 1 of 4. It's in 4 parts.
Okay.
Obviously, because of PS1, there's a lot of FMVs, so that's why there's a lot of discs. Because FMVs took a lot. Because all FMVs, point and click. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to defend it. It's just I could nostalgia play it for what it is, and
Hmm.
it's nostalgic. I wouldn't call it good. I just say I had fun playing it again. It was a little while ago, but again, for those interested, it is on the channel in 4 parts. Just type in X Files, you'll find it, or X Files PS1, you'll find it. Once you put it back in here, but fuck yeah.
I know
Put
we're
it in
gonna
here.
go and we're gonna get off
Yes,
here, but I just want to know. You said you played Half-Life, the first one. Did you? So you played that on PC?
I played it for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I did. I believe I did beat it once back in the day,
Okay.
and then I did get it again recently for PlayStation 1. And
Okay.
I think I have it over there actually. I have it for PlayStation 1. So that's a
Hmm.
fun game though. I do like Half-Life.
Okay. And then you played all the DLC for 2 and everything?
No, I never played Half-Life 2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, like I said,
Um
I never played Half-Life 2.
um and you have a PS3, right?
Yes, I do have a PS3.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I know they put out the orange box is what they called it.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, check that out. Play 2 whenever you get a chance. It's a great sequel. I think the
Cool.
orange box has the DLC on it if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
Cool.
it's oh, man, I love those games. So much fun.
I wonder if that's a game they would ever remake before I head out. Half-Life. It
I
seems like with a popular title, I'm surprised they haven't.
yeah. You know, it maybe it's in the pipeline.
If so,
Oh,
they've
okay.
never said anything about it. I just one of those I'm curious about.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I was just gonna point that out. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remembered them having it on there. Because like I'm pretty sure I just had the expansion packs like on PC. The episode 1 and then the episode 2 and all that stuff. And playing through those was a blast. Yeah, it trumps the first one in every way. I mean, like it's a great sequel. It's really really good. But yeah, but we can stop wishing for part 3 though, because Gabe doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't. He's swimming in money from Steam. You guys have no idea how rich that guy is just off Steam
Oh
alone.
yeah.
Like so,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Valve is like secondary and Steam is first now. That's that's all he really cares about is Steam. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and yeah, Lucas. Yeah. Also, thanks to him, I'll be playing sometime this month Batman Arkham Origins for PS3. I'll be playing that sometime, which I never played that one, the Arkham Origins.
Okay.
So see how that goes.
Cool.
Hopefully, better than Arkham
Arkham Knight.
Knight because I hated that one. I did it. It's the car. It's cool to play the car, drive the car, but goddamn, I didn't need the Riddler. I didn't know racetracks were riddles. Right? And
Yeah.
that they did 100% to see the true ending. Fuck that shit. I hate that shit. 100%. Like, find every fucking riddle of the
Hmm.
8,000 riddles to see your big. Come on. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
If the other side mission is fine, but not to find every fucking question mark to see your true ending, that's only like a minute longer, at if that. That's
Mhm.
fucking worth it. I'll
Yeah,
just watch it on YouTube.
that game was a disaster. Like, there now there's a lot of it in there that I like, but
Yeah, it's me too. There's stuff I
but
liked about it. Just I didn't
it
like
doesn't
it.
show well. Yeah, as a whole, it's not what it should have been, and it's
What
got
did
too
you
many
not like
technical.
about it before we go off?
Well, what
Arkham
you were
Knight.
talking about with the car and all that stuff, like, I love the car, it being in there, that's cool, but, like, it's like a fucking tank, and it's like playing that game Battle Tanks, if you remember that game.
Yeah, yeah, I do
That's
remember
what it
that.
reminded me of, and I'm like, "I don't wanna do this." But and then like I said, the technical stuff is a fucking annoying as all hell. I hate the frame rate drops and the dips, and it's not steady, and whatever. Yeah.
It played fine for me on the PS4. So, did you play on the PC?
I have both. I have the PS4 version
Oh,
and the PC version. The PS4 version is fine, but I just notice, and maybe it's because that's me. That's just how I am. I'm a big frame rate person. I can notice the dips and how smooth the gameplay is versus it not being that way. Like, I can just tell, and it has a lot of frame rate problems for my taste. And it's no better on the PC version. And it's not because of my hardware. If you guys look up any videos where they do comparisons, it's just the
hmm.
mechanics of the game where it wasn't. First of all, it should have never been a port. They should have built the game from the ground up and then released it on PC. You're doing it from a bad game already, trying to do a port. Like, there's no fixing it just because you put it on PC. So, but
Hmm.
yeah, we'll keep going. We'll be another 10 minutes on my issues with that. We'll talk about that another time.
Well, I could be around for 10 more minutes. I don't mind. I'm going to talk 10 more minutes on Arkham Knight because now I'm pissed off about that game. Because that story,
Mhm.
I'll finish this. I do want to hear more about this, but the story,
Mhm.
that guy is such a bitch ass, the Red Hood being the villain, and then,
Mhm.
like, with nothing, he turns to a good guy.
Mhm.
And then you can predict it easily. And then they put this fucking thing in that I couldn't record with the PS4 because it won't let you spoil the ending. So I couldn't even
Mhm.
show the fucking footage unless, like, I know Civil Wings, he recorded it different way to be able to see it, but I didn't have that equipment. So the
Mhm.
PS4 thing that you use to record it blots it. The
Hmm.
whole fucking last 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the game it blocks. Because
I
it'll literally say this recording is blocked because you entered a non-recording area because it didn't want spoilers, and it's still on there years and years later. Fuck
Yeah, I
you.
know the identity of the character was like a big thing. It was supposed to be this big secret, and when it came out, that was one of the first things. A
Even
friend of mine had it, got it before I did, and I asked her. So I'm like, What's the big reveal?" And she was like, "Well, it's Red Hood." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not what I want to hear."
you predict that
So
in 5 minutes.
yeah, I was hoping that's what it wasn't going to be, but when she said that, I'm like, "Fuck." Well, eh. But yeah, like, that's crazy just to, like, not reveal that. The fuck? Like, it's a feature in the game and it doesn't work? Like, that's fucked.
It You can record most of the game, but in that section it literally says it's shut off.
That's bullshit.
So you can't. And
That's
Lucas, yeah, I did not like God of War 2018. Fuck that game too. I don't care how many best year awards it won. I thought it was a shitty game because the kid sucks. He's a fucking annoying, low to the earth turd, and he says whatever 2,000 times. Because a kid would say whatever in that fucking time period, whatever, which is bullshit. And he shoots his dad in the chest with a fucking arrow, and then 5 minutes later, he's all hunty fucking dory. And I prefer God of War 1 and 2 on PS2. I prefer that action, not tearing a fucking tree for 10 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
play
like
that one, but I've heard all about it.
cutscenes you can't skip, and trying to be the Last of Us 2 instead of
Well,
the two, it's these two.
it's like Metal Gear Solid 4. That game.
I haven't played that one. I've heard of it.
I love the game. And at the time, like it was it did a
It's
lot of
more
cool.
movie than game, right?
Yeah, I mean, so depending on how you play the game, it could go for a lot longer than the actual cutscenes. But the cutscenes are insanely long, yes, I will say. And then like I remember the loading screens were kind of long. Um and you
Was
can't
this
really
PC?
no,
You were playing it?
no, that one's exclusive to PS3. It's trapped on the PS3.
Oh, PS3. Okay,
Yeah, but you know,
that
I
wasn't
had a
on
lot.
PS4.
Metal Gear Solid 4? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think
Hmm.
so.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat
All
might
right.
know if it is. But
Hmm.
from to my
Okay.
knowledge, I don't think it ever was.
Oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, man, it was a blast. I love 4. I think it's better than 3 for sure. Um, yeah, oh, shit. That's one of my favorites, honestly. I love 4. Despite the cutscenes, it is a fun fucking game. And then
On PS3. Okay.
yeah, that's what I always remembered. It's trapped on the
Okay.
PS3. Um because at the time there was like a big deal for it to be an exclusive to PlayStation 3. That was
Hmm.
supposed to be like an enticement for you to get the console even. And it
And they
lived
never
up to
put
the
on
hype.
4. That's crazy. They never put on 4 if it's that big of a game.
Yeah. Yeah, that surprised me as well. I like a lot of the characters, I like the gameplay a lot, the the weapons, just the whole camouflage system as well is really fucking cool. Um, yeah, the start of all that stuff definitely laid a lot of foundation for 5, which is great too. I don't know if you've ever played Phantom Pain. No.
I only played the first two, and the first I love. I have it on PS1 here. The
Mhm.
second I despise. So I
Oh
despise
yeah,
two.
yeah. The first one's classic for sure. Um, and 3 isn't bad. I just love 4 a lot more. It's my own personal taste. Ooh, look at that.
Love
Very
this
nice.
one. I hate part two. Fucking sissy ass guy too. Raiden, whatever the fuck his name is. Fucking femboy. Plays a fucking femboy just going around two tankers with some ending that just so head up its own ass, breaking the fourth wall. Wow, we can melt ice. I don't give a fuck if your ice cubes melt. I give a fuck that you're boring as shit. And it felt like it's in the same place for 8 hours, and then Raiden gets naked, and then game's over. Almost said movie because more movie than a game. Anyway, sorry. I don't rant. I hate that game, and I got it right there, Sally. Metal Gear Solid 2. I was so disappointed in that fucking game. Fucking femboy.
Yeah, that's one that's probably like $2 by now. Like that game can't cost anything. So yeah, get the fourth one at some point and try it
Okay,
out. I think you'll like the gameplay a lot. And you'll
cool.
love 5. I think 5 might be the best, honestly. I won't want to spoil anything. I know some people in the chat probably have played it though, but man,
Yeah,
5 is great. I just wish they would get 4 off the fucking PS3. It's ridiculous that it's still there. Like I can't believe that like it hasn't come out on
is
anything
five
else.
is 5 Kiefer Sutherland? Is the one with
Um
Kiefer Sutherland's in? Is that
is
5?
is he?
Well, I know one of them. He voices the big boss, right? Kiefer Sutherland, or
Yeah,
the main guy.
I'm
Thought it
gonna
was
look that up
5.
now. Let me see.
Because so I know the twist of who he
Okay,
really is.
let
Because
me
it was
see.
in the news, and I'm like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid 2, PlayStation 2, complete in box, $9. Jeez, complete in box. Jesus, that's cheap. With how
Yeah.
PS2 games even, it's like $100 to get Silent Hill 2. $10 to get Metal Gear Solid 2. There you go.
Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, Phantom Pain. Kiefer Sutherland voices Big Boss. Was that
Okay.
5? Phantom Pain?
Yeah, 5 is Phantom Pain.
Okay, yeah, Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, I thought it was Kiefer Sutherland. I
Mm-hmm.
remember hearing about that. So yeah, I know the twist. I mean, I do know of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is the better deal, worth the money. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. That's why
um,
everyone, Metal Gear Solid 2, people say, you take it.
yeah, I know I
If
love
you
the
like the
first
game,
one.
that's cool.
No.
If you like the game, that's cool.
I haven't played 2 in so long, I don't even remember it. I remember the first game more, if I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. Like I don't remember 2 enough to even fairly judge it.
EM, definitely look back on the stream. We talked about GT extensively, probably about an hour ago. Definitely look
Mhm.
back on it. And Lucas, Detroit Become Human, I have finished it. It'll be 12 parts. I just need to upload it.
Do you
But it
enjoy
is
that?
finished. I did, although there was some sections that pissed me off. I thought was bullshit. But there's 3 sections. I'll say it here for those who play the game. I overall did like it because when the game, I say this during the last part, but I'm like, it's a one and done. But then the more I think about it, it's like, no, actually, I do like it. I would play it again. But there are
Okay.
3 sections that pissed me off. I'm assuming you have played it, right?
I haven't played it.
Oh, okay, so I guess I can't spoil it. Well, okay, there's one section when you're looking for an android in a strip club, and you have to
Mhm.
touch each android to see through their eyes, but it's a time limit. So if you don't get it fast enough, it'll affect later on. And because I failed, so I said, fuck this, I quit, and I started again, and I was ranting about it. Just like, how the fuck am I supposed to check every damn android in this short amount of time? I just gotta play these fucking guessing games. That was one.
Mhm.
The second part was, okay, I'll spoil this. There's a bit where you and this girl have to get on this bus.
Mhm.
You gotta get these tickets. Now, the whole game is about morality, karma, like a lot of these type of cinematic, like Until Dawn type of games.
Mhm.
You're what? So this woman with a baby dropped their tickets, and they tell you, "Do you want to give them back?" I'm like, "Okay, you know what? It's good karma to give them back. Maybe this means I have to find tickets somewhere else. Maybe that good action will result in something." No, if you do that, you fucking die. What you have to do is steal the tickets from the woman and the husband and her baby and say,
Mhm.
fuck them, fuck the family, fuck the baby. You stay here in the camp. Save your own ass. So that pissed me off. So I redid that and I'm like, fuck, I didn't. Okay, you're rewarded for being an asshole. I guess that's real life. I guess it's being realistic. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And this punishment was death. And that pissed me off. The last scene is after everything's done, you're then in this thing where it'll result in a character dying, but you're in a fucking blizzard and you have to, it just says, find a way out. And
Hmm.
I don't know where the fuck to go because it's a blizzard and you can only see this far. So you're wandering around and you only have like a minute. If you fail, then this horrible thing happens. So that's the one time probably the second time I had to look at my fucking phone and be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, I have to turn right, go over here to do this. Fuck you, game. Like, this is like after the end, after everything's done, then you throw this thing in there where you only have like a 1 minute time limit and it's a fucking blizzard. What the shit? That pissed me off. And I was like ranting for 10 minutes throughout the ending. I'm like, they didn't have to put this fucking part in. Just let me enjoy the ending I already got from all the other decisions I made. But I did like the game. I did like it despite that. But I did like it, but there were some bullshit parts to me, in my opinion. But I did like it.
Okay.
It's more of a Until Dawn type of game, more cinematic, where you make choices and then there's a shitload of different outcomes. So it does have replayability. I think there's like, in a way, like there's a shitload of endings you can get. Like if you go, there's a shitload of endings. Like I remember afterward looking, I'm like, I never was even in that place, and I was never in that place. I never experienced that, so it definitely has a lot of replayability. I'll give it that. There's a lot of different choices, a lot of different ways people can die, and the game ends, and so it does give you that.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it's definitely worth a play. It's good graphics. Clancy Brown is in there as a cop. Lance Henriksen, he's in for a little bit at the beginning, maybe a little bit at the end, depending how far you get. If you don't die before it. But Clancy Brown he's a supporting character. He's a major part of one of the three stories because he plays three different characters going in between each of the three. And one of them is you're an android cop partnered with Clancy Brown, who's human. You're both cops. He has a lot to do. He's definitely one of the good points in the game. So it's definitely worth a gander.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to it. It's on my list.
Yeah, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. But take care, everyone. We'll see what happens next. And you guys have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.